that channel. Brandon's at the big desk, guys.
Hey guys, just like that, yeah, 2 o'clock on a Monday afternoon here as we get going into the final couple of hours of the day. Hope your morning went well. Hope your afternoon is going well currently. A few things moving around here to start things off this afternoon. Huge day, as the guys are mentioning, for Bitcoin to the upside. Huge breakout on the daily chart up to 53,000, almost 54,000 at this point, 3.6% to the upside. So equities related following suit here to the upside as well. If you missed it this morning, MicroStrategy picking up, what was it, 3,000 extra Bitcoins or something like that, to the tune of, or at an average price of 51,000 and change, 51,200. So they're nicely in the money there with that position already. Here's RIVN, meanwhile, much needed bounce back day, 6.5%. Back above 1075, 1080 ending up being a little bit of resistance right now, but ton of volume once again today, especially on that move through Friday's high on RIVN, back higher so far. Zoom coming up after the close tonight with earnings. Sean will have that for you. Make sure you tune in for the recap coming up at 4 o'clock. ZM will report 0.5% in positive territory currently for Zoom ahead of their earnings, but very mixed board otherwise. Banks downside across the board, healthcare downside across the board outside AbbVie. Google 4% under pressure, some of the chip names offsetting that. There's that news on Broadcom we were talking about a little bit this morning. AMD, Intel basically flat. One going one way, one the other. QCOM 1.4 to the upside. CRM 3% to the upside. Next look for Salesforce today. Netflix and Adobe notable. Some retail strength as well. Tesla on a bounce back day as well, being maybe dragged by RIVN to the upside or vice versa. Tesla maybe dragging RIVN to the upside. There it is. $200 coming back into play here for Tesla. Looks pretty good. On the daily chart, let's talk about this one. We had that top of the watch list this morning. If you haven't done so, make sure you grab the watch list. It's absolutely free every single day. I mean, we were talking about semiconductors in general, but it was mostly about NVDA and that 800 level coming back into play. It hasn't done much since the pre-market this morning, but 800 continues to be a wall here, guys.
A wall we might test soon. No, I mean, I was just in a couple of shorts. One of them I reloaded. Apple actually just came out for me. But NVIDIA, it's at 97, and we just got a bit of a bounce in the market here. So when we talk about that 800 level, it's been back and forth off 800 about half a dozen times here today. So the 800 line has not been a clean one. And I'd say like this afternoon, it's been 803. If you look at the top this morning, it was up at like an 807. But just very quickly, I want to observe something because as the NASDAQ, I'm only in Google short. I was in a couple of other ones that just came out. As the NASDAQ just went green again and is popping higher, I'm in one short in Google, but I am going to go back to the well on a chip name because when I see relative strength or weakness, going to point it out. Bouncing and not getting to VWAP. This is the move, like lower highs on Intel as the market is bouncing and looking pretty strong. So I want to see if I can't short this off VWAP if I don't get the 43.3. Well, that's the chip name I think I'll be into the south side. Not necessarily NVIDIA, though I think that 800 to 803 zone looks pretty good. Under VWAP, I know it's up 1%. That can be a little bit deceiving. Under VWAP, market trying to bounce back toward those highs. So I'm going to short Intel because it's also beneath VWAP as we speak. But NVIDIA, a little bit sideways, I want to say, for most of this day. Like, there's a tradable range, to be sure, but the volatility, outside of the open, I mean, the volatility hasn't been as profound on NVIDIA. You know, bigger moves elsewhere. I mean, ARM certainly has more volatility here today, but I guess that shouldn't surprise anybody.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, ARM is a funny one because I'm trying to get more short as we speak. Right now, we just put on a new position in Oracle, by the way, against 112. We'll see. I just don't, like, do we really think this market's going to start to head back up here? I don't know. Like, it's a nice run. I mean, what's up with this? Like, just in the last 15, 20 minutes, you know, you had quite a nice move, 30 handles, like straight to the upside, you know? So it's nice. This is a good little move up. Let's see if we can fade some of these names. We're short Oracle right now. So as far as the semis are concerned, we did good with being up on AMD today, be honest with you, because we made money early, pretty good off 178. Then it broke lower, and we haven't done anything since then ARM, we're just building another position here. ARM's been amazing. It's my #1 stock today by far is this ARM short, and we're shorting more right now. Let's see if that can go. And then the worst stock by far for me today is NVDA, and it's just because we took a shot at it early, man. I thought this 800 was going to hold, and it didn't. There's the out there breaking through 798. So we talked about this on the Walk and Talk, by the way. Walking, Talking Stock. I got to figure out a name for it. We did another one of those videos. Go find me on Instagram. But we talked about this trade here. So boom to the downside, it broke, and we go lower through 800. So yeah, like Neil said, we'll stay away a little bit from NVIDIA right now. We'll stay on ARM. So I'm going to use that one as the tool to short. I mean, I'm bidding 147. That's where VWAP is. But I was really greedy. Like, we were short here, and we could have got out numerous times down here, 146.50. I feel like I might be a little bit rose-colored glasses here thinking that this name could really fall. Watch out for 150. If 150 breaks, we are out of ARM.
I'm not laughing at you, Sharif. I'm laughing with you. 17.5% here for Li Auto. Just took out the high.
Yeah.
At 41.
Yep. I hate Li Auto. No, guys.
What a day.
All seriousness, this was a hell of a beat, guys. $5.8 billion in revenue for the quarter. That was above the 5.5 that was expected by the street. Vehicle sales, 133.8% increase year over year. They delivered 131,000 units in the quarter. That was well above what they delivered last year, about 53,000. What they expect for Q1 of this year is between 100,000 to 103,000. That represents about a 90 to 95% upside, but it is a little light. The street was looking for about 120 to 130,000 vehicles delivered for Q1 of this year. Didn't really matter though, Brendo. Just kept going up.
Yeah, just impressive to say the least here. I was just noticing. I mean, what is this, $8, $9 in a week? Straight higher for Lee, guys. Pretty impressive.
I don't know why we're slapping a fail on a stock at 17%. I mean, that seems unacceptable. Anybody that owns the stock should be happy with Li Auto. If it was not a Chinese ADR in the afternoon, I might be taking consolidation breakout on Li Auto. That said, it is, and it doesn't. The volume is through the roof today, so all the excuses about volume that I usually give for not trading this stock, I don't think really necessarily apply today. Good mover. I tried my hand at NEO this morning, and I like RIVN. I'll get to that in a second. NEO, first salvo good, second salvo bad. So we went 1 for 2. Now look at this stock basically not moving. That's barcoding. That's what happens sometimes, these Chinese ADRs. I just feel as if, we're going to get to Lucent RIVN. I'll talk about that one later. But if it was something along the lines of, I don't know, like I feel like if this was NEO up at the top doing this, I'd probably be looking long on a 41 break and then give it to like 75 and just see how far it can go. Because clearly, I mean, the bulls are in control of this one, and they have been all day long. Like every dip has been good. The breakout in the afternoon has been good. The volume's so poor. There's tons of size at 41, so there's interest at that level. Maybe I'll take a scalp trade there. SEUN is my mover of the day. That's the one we'll be in, and we'll get to that. It broke that 510. I didn't like the $5 level. It was at 510 on the daily for SOUN, and that's what I got involved with. We're not going to get to it any other way. So it was this level on the daily, and I mentioned that in the chat. Like, I don't like punching in at 5 when you have overhead resistance on the daily. Like, let it break the 510 level, and then it goes to the upside. I'm now trailing it, see if it can get to 550. I'll probably pass on Li Auto, I think.
We just got, I just told you we were going short there. We'll take about 70 cents. We get out at the 50 period right there at 147.50 there for ARM. So that's another one. You guys said you missed this on the midday show, so we'll spin it again. And then Oracle's starting to work out as well. Just took a nice little fill there at 70. Let's see if we get a little lower for Oracle. And we're starting to do a little bit here. As shout out to the Oracle of Omaha and Brendan's choice. Between Kathy Wood and Warren Buffett. Oh. Hello, sir. All right,
we'll call him sir.
Yeah, damn right I called him sir. Damn straight. Man, last time when I spoke to him and I didn't, he was peed off.
You didn't like that, eh?
I did not like that.
But you like
he said he's not happy with the Ute of today.
No, he's not happy that you said you'd rather be stuck in an elevator with.
He didn't hear that
Kathy
part.
Wood.
I think that's why he's just finding out now, trying to phone me to figure about all that.
No, but I actually agree with the logic because, no, I feel like
I'm trying to look forward.
most traders and most people who have been following the markets for a little bit of time, you probably know much more about how Warren Buffett thinks than you do Kathy Wood. So if you're trying to learn something, I'm with you on that one. I generally speaking would prefer. Kathy Wood, I don't necessarily understand her methodology as much, so I'd rather pick her brain than I have an idea how Warren Buffett thinks.
You never know, man. They might tell you something about like maybe Ethereum was going to be the next big thing before it was, and then maybe you listen to it, So, but
man.
There's lots of stories. Okay, yeah. So by the way, ARM just is continuing to go down. We are bidding 147 flat. Did we just get it? We got something else. Just fell in. Oracle. Give us this 147. We're about to take $1 right there, and there it is right there. We just shorted this one back to back to back. We took a decent amount of shares up there against 150. So let's see if ARM wants to pull back in a little bit, as we will reach out for Oracle as well, as that ARM is now extending a little bit high side right now. Good job right there for some of these shorts coming in. Let's see how far ARM can go. Guess who has no more bids on this? Me. Let's see if we can get back into the downside. But now that I look at this, pretty stupid of me not to take something out at 146. So I will put a bid there ahead of VWAP 146. Here she comes. It is ARM. And no one can stay away from this arm of the law, and especially if you see Sharif's arms these days. So we're going to go over there and have a quick look and gander, as it is
doing this and he's like
it's
pressing.
Short sleeve season.
He's like, he'll push the bicep like
SZN.
I know your trick, dude. I know he does like this thing. You press the bicep to make it look bigger. I know what's up. Sharif.
Yeah. We all know what's
Clearly,
up.
that's what it is. No time in the gym at all.
Sleeve season?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the way it's like, it's 25 Celsius in here, right?
Brendo, when you did that little part in the video where you actually put down the temperature, it could not have been more appropriate for what we have to do on a daily basis here.
It's hot. Let's talk about Google here. Jamie Dimon's coming out talking about AI now. So Jamie Dimon has opinions on being an optimist, apparently, on AI. So, we were touching on Google on this AI angle this morning. There's so many different ways you can approach this. Like you were saying, the simple fact that this Gemini is easier to use and, some simplicity to it. But I was actually finding over the past couple of days that it was making a lot of errors compared to ChatGPT, or if I asked it to do something, it would just straight up say, sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
Or I don't have enough information or something like that. And then, don't worry about it, Ramin. But then you go back to ChatGPT and it'll do it in a second. So it's not there yet.
There's stuff that ChatGPT definitely excels at a lot better, Brenda. You can tell it's still a work in progress here for Gemini, but what they did release is Gemini Nano, that it's going to be able to be right on that phone, on the Pixel. Specifically, they said Pixel, which is their phone that's going to be on there first. And what that allows you to do is use the LLM on your phone without actually having to send any information to the cloud. That's a step up, and it's using that hardware, no other GPUs or anything.
Yeah, on the actual device, that's the key.
Yeah, and well, keep in mind, if you use the paid version of ChatGPT, Gemini is free. It's not always an apples-to-apples comparison. Like, obviously, neither one is going to be without their faults. I'm not going to sit here and wax poetic about how great Gemini is, but it is a bit of a difference. Sean was just mentioning here. But look, this was for me the reason for the lesson of the day, because my initial short on Google was a losing trade, and I had the 140 level marked off for obvious reasons here. Big support level. There you go. It's a little easier to see. Big support level, breakout on the 20th, held higher low. So 140 was, once it started breaking down, that was just the line that I was going to work off of. So when I saw it break, I initiated the short. It immediately wicked under and was a fail. So I had to reassess the trade and kind of go back to what was the next setup, which is generally pull back into VWAP or pull back into previous support. So support level there at 140.5. The second it wicked 140.5, wait for it to bounce up, breaks 40.5, comes back down, then we're shorting in front of that level. And then we took that short into the 140 and held it down into 139. I then got back into the shorts here off the 138.5 and have been playing that level ever since. So Alphabet has been a red stock compared to the market the whole day. Like even when the market looked like it was strong, and right now it's still green in the NASDAQ by a little bit, Google's just been the other way, down 4% today. Candidly, I said in the middle of the day, I'm buying some in my long term because I was planning on buying this anyways, and I don't remember why I didn't do it at the 50-period moving average. I feel like I intended to and then just didn't do it, so I'm not waiting for the 200 period. I'll probably buy there again, but I'm picking this one up into the 200 period on my personal account. But today it's a short trade in Alphabet.
So on the podcast, which was Friday, when Bitcoin was at 51,000, I left Bitcoin. Wow, 54,000 just got taken out. This was my trade to go. At the end of the day, it was buy Bitcoin. So there it is right now, up nicely, man. Add 4 points there. Thank you so much, as Bitcoin continues to be the second best investment in the last 10 years, Bitcoin. The best one apparently is NVIDIA. I don't know if that's true. Things like Bitcoin would be, but I guess it goes back to what time frame you're at. But right there goes Bitcoin, 54.2, and just absolutely ripping, Randall, as we continue to go higher and higher and higher right here. We have a special guest here, Ramin. Ramin, we have a special guest. Special guest, it's Randy. Randall the Handle is over here. 54,000, man. Remember, I remember we were mining that. Damn, Daniel, this keeps on going higher and
the
higher.
halving's not for a couple more months.
Yeah,
It's not till April.
so all your money will get halved.
Well, it's always been positive.
I think so too. That's why we recommended BTC there. Tesla, by the way, Randy, Tesla today having themselves a day. Bouncing off Randy's favorite VWAP right here, and now making a move. Oh, you said Randy actually had, when we first started, he coined a line, and it was actually now is an official trading terminology. I've heard it on CNBC and other very, very official spots, and that is the stock can be quite spready.
That is true.
So you are all over this, Randy. Anyways, not too many.
Randy likes or doesn't like the spready stocks?
He likes them.
See, most traders don't like the spready stocks because,
What are we talking about, Google?
Yeah, it's a little too risky. No, we already talked about Google.
Yeah,
we're
we
moving on
did.
to the next one. So, look, we're in Google. We mentioned that we already talked about this one. Let's get back to the desk and talk about some EV names. What's interesting is we're just talking about Google, and now we're going to go back to the desk to talk about EVs after Randy
At
leaves.
least now I know what time Randy leaves every day, because I told him, if you're leaving, bring me a coffee.
But he
2
said he was
o'clock.
leaving.
Okay,
He said he was leaving at 2.
noted.
It's 2:15.
Well noted.
He's still
2
here.
o'clock.
He said he was leaving at 2.
Back over the desk.
I mean, in Randy's favor, I was here at, I don't even know what time today, shortly after 7 o'clock, and he was sitting at his desk.
Yeah, he's here early.
Scared the crap out of me because it was pitch black in the office, and Randy was already here. Anyway, 6%. Nice day for RIVN, as I mentioned when we came on at 2 o'clock. Nice bounce back day, much needed bounce back day here for RIVN. We saw Tesla also nicely higher across the board.
Yeah, Brendo, even though these both had negative catalysts on the day, it didn't really matter. So they're doing real well. You get multiple downgrades for Rivian, JP Morgan, UBS, Truist, all reducing their price target on the name and downgrading it after that weak earnings report last week. Lucid, though, interesting here. They're going to open up 4 more studios in Germany looking to expand. And they announced when the Gravity, their first foray into SUVs, is going to be released later this year. So excited for that.
I mean, when you zoom out a little bit on Rivian's daily chart, it's not really that much of a bounce back, but much needed regardless, guys.
Well, yeah. Like, that's the thing about these beat up names.
Yeah.
That's how math works. Like, if a stock is down like 90-something% from its highs, then suddenly 10, 15,
That's how math
20%
works?
gains the gains are super easy. Like, it's just, like, that's just how it is.
Yeah,
Like,
math.
they're just not impressive. That said, as a trader, you can take advantage of them. Now, obviously, this morning, I already slapped the fail on myself for not having the 10 long. So we said, look for the 10 SSR bounce. I'll use a 15 minutes so you can see this is $10 on Friday. This is the wick bottom. It was 10.05. I missed it. Is what it is, but I was able to get the long off of 10.30. Now we'll go back to the 3-minute. This was the bounce into VWAP. It held the open range low and then ran. Once it broke out, I just held until it consolidated off the top. When it did a rejection, I jumped out of the trade. This is possibly setting up for another leg here. You know, holding these highs at 1050 or so and still stair-stepping to the upside. If we hold 18,000, this might be a decent one here for Rivian. So, you know, we talk about this all the time. If you miss the first trade, there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is make whatever the next trade might be. So I like the long bounce off Rivian at 10 bucks. The only thing I was able to get was the higher low and then trend to the upside. You do what you can. Like, it didn't have Google short at the tops either. Had to short like the first available short on Alphabet. And if it trends, then you're okay. As long as you are well dressed, you can be as late to the party as you want. Although, I heard a good quote. It was Denzel Washington says this one. He likes to leave the party before the devil gets there. I'm like, well, that's an interesting one. It's like, don't overstay your welcome. It's the same thing with a trade.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, like, you can like a trend all you want, but hey, like, that doesn't mean you have to hold it till it comes all the way back in. Like, if Rivian is busting VWAP, I'm not going to be sitting there looking to still buy the dip.
Just looking out, because ARM just took 147, but stopped here at 146.70. So we'll hopefully get a little bit more of a move there. It's a Dollar Club member, but we're waiting for more than that. And I mean, honestly, Oracle, I'm already out of half. It's so stupid. It's bouncing like literally off the 50 period. We have some out below it. We'll see if it can continue to work. But it's good, man. It's 1180 down to 1165. Just pretty small right now. Wow, WOW apparently starting to move around a little bit, so this could be something. Nice move from 4 up to 425. And Discovery is trying to, I'm going to find out. There's some movers happening right now with Discovery. Hold on a second. Trying to listen to it. It's nothing. Okay, Oracle right now starting to make a move back in a little bit. Let's see if this market wants to fall, man. We're short Meta, Oracle, ARM, and Affirm.
Before we go back, this is an absolute first. My high of the day Momo scanner on Trade Ideas, it's gone now, but BBAI is up there. Look at what was on here. All of it was IBIT. Oops, my head's in the way. There you go. All of it was IBIT, so breaking out on volumes. This scanner, really, it's just the stock is breaking out on abnormal volumes, so breaking fresh highs. So IBIT, of course, being Bitcoin ETF.
All right, the lunar lander has come back to Earth. A little bit, anyways. 35% to the downside here. We're back to $6. We were talking about this morning. I mean, this is such a cool story. Oh, yeah. That I think there's obviously far more to come from this, but just in what they're trying to do. If you missed it this morning, when it landed, it tipped over, but apparently it's still functioning and has the ability to do basically everything they wanted to while it was there. But 35%, huge move down here today.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's a bit of a tougher look because I always want to champion these space causes, a big passion of mine. But what happened was when it was landing, it clipped its landing foot on a rock, tipped over on its side, and therefore the antennas are pointing in the wrong direction, but they're still able to get some data here, Brendo, as you know, it's a weak signal. In case you're wondering why they tried to land on the south pole of the moon, they believe there's ice there. So for future manned missions, they're looking at being able to secure that ice for a prolonged stay. That's the look here. We'll see how they do in the future.
Yeah, I mean, still trying to hold here, guys, at $6 for LUNR.
You know, what's interesting this morning is the $6 level was pretty much where I was looking for the SSR bounce. And we said, hey, you know, maybe it gets down to like the 200 period. Maybe you get something off the $5 level, but 6 comes before 5. It had some support there in the pre-market. So that's all I waited for. I did take a shot at it a couple times, and I feel like I might go there again. So I'll go back over to the 3-minute chart. It got to 6, didn't bounce, then held once. And then once I saw it double bottom, and this is the patient way I like to trade these SSR bounces. If you get the level, this is it trying to hold, this is it actually holding, this is it back through $6. So that's the patient play, but it got up to 625. I then got out and gave up on it, and I feel like I gave up too early. Now the higher low is off the $6 level. I feel like I should still be in this one. But one quick update for you guys on SOUN. SOUN's now at the 550 level. I'm trailing it to 40s here. If it breaks 5, the idea is that it's at 550. So if it rejects 550, I'm out on the way back in through 540. So remember, it was the 510 break, not the $5 break on SOUN. Why? Because look at the daily chart. I wanted to make sure this thing was above $5.10 on the daily instead of that $5 level that had all the size. That didn't matter as much to me. So I do like that 6 level on Lunar, but time to actually reload some Google, oddly enough.
This is really starting to get rippy here on Bitcoin. 54.3 right now, going upside.
55.
Mara right now.
Actually.
Mara trying to bounce off 29.50 upside, but I don't think we want to stand in front of this one. Again, the short flow to Mara is relatively large, which is helping out this, but they do report on the 28th, so I just want to bring that to everyone's attention here. I don't think you want to hop in and buy Mara today because of what's happening. For maybe buy it, fine, but for a day trade, you have the report coming in a couple days. So, you know, February 28th, just note it. It's 26 now. Trade it, hold it for the next couple days, but watch out for that report. And then there it is right there, 21% right now. So we're going to find out about that one a little bit out there. Oh, and we did just put on another thing here, downside for a firm. So we just put on another short at the same level. Let's see if that wants to work back downside right now. So what I was talking about before is we have a halt, and that's ATUS. Altis is now possible takeover.
It's open.
It's open now, but possible takeover by Charter Communications is the rumor here. So Altis right now, possible takeover with Charter. So, all right, just a little look.
Vulcan.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll sit on the bid here as well. See if we can get something out on a firm, although we just took it. So we'll see if we go to the downside. And then now U.S. Steel, we had that story last week about there possibly, I remember I was like, it's friendly fire with Japan, so I didn't think that there'd be any problems there, but there's another move back up. So if you're watching X, it is a nice little spike back to the upside. Come on, a firm, get to the downside. And by the way, ARM, again, we spiked low. Whoa. Was that caught on the screen?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to relook at that. Anyways, 146. I was bidding 146.25. It went to 146.33. So we're gonna try to get something out down here again on possible support for ARM. So we are sitting on the bid here to get out of a quarter of what we have left. So let's wait. Coin is about to take off, they're saying. All right, let's go over and talk about Lunar, and then we'll see.
We already did it.
Oh, we did it. Okay, then we'll see what else is mooning right now, which definitely tends to be Coinbase right now, taking out 193. Again, I don't like the name. I'd rather be in Bitcoin, but up 16.5%, definitely working to the upside here. Goes Coinbase, and wow, short flow be damned on this name. It is going upside right here and crushing some of those shorts that try to hold it against this 190 past top. So there it is, man. It's a nice top break here on Coinbase. With this Bitcoin going crazy, maybe that Reddit IPO will be okay. Reddit talked about putting some money into Ethereum and into BTC for some of their cash deposits over the years.
I had read that.
It's just to see what those numbers look like.
The thing I read on it said it wasn't a material, like it wasn't a
material number.
Amount.
Yeah,
it wasn't a material amount.
No surprise.
That said, look, it's one thing. It's something to track. The bigger thing I think for that Reddit IPO is the fact that they're only releasing like 10%. Like, following along, you guys were saying in the podcast. Well, now we're just sort of calling it the ARM method.
Oh yeah, low flow. That's what I was calling it.
To set yourself up as a low float. My guess is it's not going to work out the same way, but what do I know? To do what ARM has done seems a little bit unlikely. I just don't think Reddit has that in it. I'm going to leave it at that. But look, let's look at Mara for a quick second. I just got out of Google, and I'm not getting back in until it shows some more weakness. Here, I'll show you this chart, but I got this bad wick on the chart. So I got out when it broke this local high, and I'm not coming back in until it shows weakness underneath 138.5. Google has been a weak stock, but I want to be something where the trend is clear and it just made another move. So dipping back into 29 on Mara, if it holds the higher low, I like it. Intel, for whatever reason, is simply not moving off of VWAP. So I'm going to leave it on the Mara chart. Like, you're not getting, no matter what the market does to the upside, like, you're just holding underneath VWAP, which is wild to me. So I'm jumping into the short here. I just grabbed it in this consolidation. SOUN is now broken 550. So I'm now going to, I'm already trailing it to 40s. If it gets to 60s, I'll trail it to 50s. But let's go back to the desk and handle some business.
The rundown is always brought to you by our friends over at Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used on the desk by many and all of the hosts on the show. See what's moving in the moment. Go to tradeideas.com/tradertv or check out the link in the description for 20% off. Remember, they have that short-only tournament going on right now. $2,400 on an Amazon gift card. It's on right now. Go check out them. Great day on the midday today. What's coming up tomorrow?
So today, guys, we talked about Dow theory. Tomorrow we extend that by talking about Elliott wave theory. Much requested in the chat. Make sure to check out How to Trade with Adira and I tomorrow at 11.
What? Oh yeah, there is an option for that. It's probably on a customization. We're just thinking about how, because you can autofill. Why did you take it off?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? It's not a big deal. I'm just looking for the dip.
Oh, it's right there. Settings. Right click. Window options. Settings. And then autocomplete. The last one. Oh, go.
Okay.
Oh, you're on your chart.
On the chart.
Oh no, you have to do it on.
Oh, you have to do it on level 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Okay. All right. Anyways,
SOUN, by the way.
I hear Sharif's mic. Sharif's mic is live, so everyone just heard him do some sort of a yawn.
Because he wants to sing. Wow, this is now getting a little parabolic.
Where's the market going? Upside here? Okay, so just real quick, just want to talk about some levels here before we get too carried away. So we just went short into a firm. My out on this one is going to be this high right here, the high of the day, basically breaking up through 50. I mean, I know that this market seems to want to go higher here, but I'm not taking 10 cents. Like, I want to take a little bit more, obviously. So we took it on the way down because we did have a big position there. We emptied it out. We got it out to 50 period there, which was 16s. So if we can get something like that again, I feel like that'd be pretty good. Down into 37, and then we got a 36.80. So that's like 50 cents right there. And then we did hold some, maybe we didn't, but we got right back into it anyways, same price. So let's wait to see what happens there. That's my out. This starting to get back to the upside. So we just missed, this happened to us earlier on ARM. That last stock was a firm. On ARM, we missed this fill by 7 cents. It is what it is. It went to 31.32. We're at 25 there, and now it's back up $1. We'll probably look to reshort this in here, but a break of 150 is pretty simple for that. We do have a reload, so this is like a newer position that we can start to talk about. Meta rate here, just on the minute chart. I feel like it looks fine up here. It's just, I don't know if the market wants to do anything. We've already been at these levels. If it wants to go higher, we have our out at 486, which would be, we're short right now at 25s. So 75 cents worth of risk, well worth it. When down there, that's actually $1.10 or $1.20. Anyways, we'll wait for it. We still believe in this short as well. And then after that, man, we still got the Bob Long, which was, so cash money from the morning. Unfortunately, don't think I was here, but I don't think I would have taken it anyways. Nice breakup opportunity down there for Baba, still in this one, off of 76. We wrote down 75 on the sticky note, just didn't come in there. All right, so now that ARM is falling back in, maybe 140, I'm just gonna put one right here, 146.70. So I'm gonna cancel my 146.25 and just give in to the strong arm of the law here and get one out now, because it's just, it would really suck to have this name break 150. The market's up here. We're above the 50. We're above VWAP. So any downside push for ARM, let's just take advantage. We missed it by 7 cents. If it were to happen again, I'd be upset. So let's grab 40-cent difference here, get out at 60, see if that'll work, and deal with it then. But yeah, we're under control here and just shorting what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to get out ring and register on SOUN the whole way. When it was breaking every 10 cents from the 550, I was just moving the trail up 10 cents, move the trail up 10 cents, and then it got up to the 75 level, and I trailed out of it. You got to ring the register at some point. That's as clean a breakout on the daily chart as you're going to see. It had a top there at that 510 level. You had the level at that 510 on the daily going all the way back into last year. I think it's very likely it does a pullback at some point, like a decent sized one, and maybe it could be now. But then Mara, which we were just talking about, consolidating off the high, there's your consolidation off the top, a minute the quarters, giving it to the evens. If it breaks, the high of the day is just above the 50, just above the 40 level. So if it gets to the 50s, get some out, and then see how far this can go. But the story of why it's going higher, you have a consolidation also on Bitcoin up at the top, right? So respect this consolidation higher and take the thing which might be able to fly more. So you've got to be able to watch Bitcoin while that's happening. You can do that through IBIT. You can do that from BTC. Any of the ETFs are going to work for you very nicely there. There's a lot to look at. There's one stock that we did not talk about this. Okay, maybe not true. We talked about it, but we didn't pull it up much. And I'm seeing this. I know Walmart's going sideways here, but I want to keep an eye on this because remember that $60 is the 180 level, as was mentioned this morning. So if you're not split adjusted, 80 is resistance on it, $80 is $60 today. Well, have a looky at what's happening here. You're holding the top end of the range and looking for a potential breakout here. Walmart on the split could make a run into that 60 level. Just want to throw it out there. It was flushing at the open, so it really wasn't in play for that. But I do like that still on Walmart if we can get there.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier this morning. I was waiting for the charts to sort of adjust itself.
I thought you were going home, bro.
Huh? You sent this picture? Yeah, okay, here we go. Hold on a second. I knew there was a reason why this guy's over here. All right, here we go.
All right, bring it up.
Why isn't it? Oh no, where'd it go?
What did you?
Hold on a second. I was going to open this in a new tab. Open image in a new tab and bring it down. Okay, so you sent this. So here's the T-shirt that we were talking about. Spready. There it is. So see, and Randy's modeling it and everything. This is great. I know you got the iWatch on there.
Yeah, I got a bad. I feel like there's a phrasing. Yeah, phrasing is correct there.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't think people are gonna take that the way that it's meant in trading. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Maybe not. Maybe not.
All right. Well, the weather is nice outside, Randy. So you will.
Randy designed the shirt, Ram. Ram's asking who designed it.
Who designed it? It's just a word on it.
It's a word on a shirt.
Most hyped design. All right, Randy, we'll have a safe trip back home there. And any vacations this week, or you're here all week?
Do something about the weather, man.
The weather's
my in-laws
gorgeous.
Is so warm. No, it's bad for maple syrup season. They've already had to tap their trees. That's bad. Because everything's going to get messed up, so we're not going to get.
I'm down with this warm weather, but yeah.
No, I love the warm weather as well, but it absolutely wreaks havoc on maple syrup.
On the environment, yeah.
It's not great for.
That was my one good thing. Thanks, Brendo, for that one as well. For that, as the one good thing was weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Brendan's like, okay, well then I'm basically hating on the environment, basically.
No, but see, the thing, you were enjoying the fact that it is warm and you can get out there. It was not a comment on I like global warming. That's not what the...
I like global warming.
Nobody says I like global warming.
Oh, that's the best.
I mean, I don't think anyone
I like global warming. Yeah, that would be hilarious. That should be a shirt. I like global warming. I do like how warm it is. But let's just pretend it has nothing to do with global warming. All right. Shout out to Greta something.
What's her last name? Thornburg? Greta Thornburg.
Hearing some music or something.
No, it's somebody's has an alert going off
there. Josh, is that your phone over there, or what's going on over there?
Mara's breaking the high, so it's
some
an
reggaeton.
Alert. Let's go. Mara just got to 29.49 as the high up there. So bought the dip, got 25s. It just tagged 49 even. We're gonna ride this higher as Bitcoin. Here's BTC. BTC is obviously at the high as well, looking to break it out. Maybe it's a 55,000 break today. So we'll see what happens, man. It's absolutely flying. There's no percent. There's no percent gain on BTC because it's a 24-hour market, so we don't actually peg it to anything here at Real Trading. But yeah, you're breaking out these highs. Mara to the upside. See the Bitcoins flowing around there?
Big time congratulations.
We kept talking about getting one for Ether because when that ETF comes, we're going to want to have an Ether key as well.
Yeah.
Gotta get out ahead of that. By the way, C3 AI, shout out to you. Brian Swisher pointing this one. C3 AI is making another run to the high of the day here.
Swisher Sweets.
They report, I want to say Thursday. That's going to be an interesting one. I feel like who wants to be long C3 AI going into that report? But they're 38% short float. Yeah, February 28th. So that's actually Wednesday. Check that. Wednesday aftermarket for you on the aftermarket show. My guess is it will be one of the bigger percent movers. Tonight, the biggest percent mover for you guys in the market recap should be Unity, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm excited for Unity the most. Actually, I haven't even...
No, there's something else, too.
We do have Miss Danielle Shay coming through about 3 o'clock. We'll talk to her about some plays. Okay, so today, February 26th, we have Lee Auto before market. That was expected move of 10%. We've got Fidelity, so just look at aftermarket here. Not too many. Zoom Video, there it is. Zoom Video with the 9er there, almost 10%. Potentially mover there. What just happened? Oh, ARM. Okay, oh yeah, all right. We'll look at this in a minute as we continue. If we have the earnings board, we can look at that too if you want to. That's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing.
Ooh, I like that. It is aesthetically pleasing.
All right, there it is right there. Spin it. All right, sometimes we can trade a little bit sometimes, but there's ARM. We'll take it out at 147. I mean, it's $1. It's just making higher lows. I mean, let's just look. There it is there, down here at 146. Then sort of, we weren't able to break like 146.50-ish, right? And then this last little move down, we weren't able to break 146.70. And then right now, it's like I got out basically at the 200 period moving average, which is something that I can live with. So we're only out of a quarter of what we have. So I don't have any more bids until 142. So we'll see if it gets to the low side right now, but just can't keep staring at $1 and watching my net like go, whoa. And so we'll average back in there up at 148 if that is something that does come into play. And right here, okay, so we reshorted Meta. That would be 84s. We just shorted 21s. All right. We'll take that. We'll see if we can get a little bit of a lower print down there on, earnings are ready.
SOUN, $6 is big.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
so there's
wow.
your earnings. Let's go Meta, see if we can get a nice little down push here for that one. Okay, what is floating your boat over there, Neil?
So, I mean, well, Zoom and Unity, we already talked about those ones. It was more the tomorrow morning
I thought
Norwegian cruise lines, because we're talking about the move that was already happening in CCL and Norwegian. Those are good movers. They're heavily shorted. The only annoying thing about the cruise lines is the conference calls always tend to be going on as you're trying to trade the open, which can be a bit of a pain in the butt. But yeah, it's the big two, Unity and Zoom aftermarket, maybe Workday. I don't know if we care too much about Workday anymore. What else? I mean, Lowe's is a good bellwether. Oh, Macy's is interesting on earnings. There we go. I mean, it's not A&F, but nothing is A&F right now. Even Bitcoin's not A&F. The only thing as parabolic as A&F is SOUN right now. And I'm talking about, hey, look, you know what? Hold on a second. I don't know if you've shown the daily chart on Abercrombie, but I don't know if we've actually shown the monthly is the most impressive thing. Can we come to this? Forget about Macy's. This is a monthly chart. Now, I can't remember the last time I looked at a monthly chart that looked like this. Like nothing, I mean, nothing comes to mind, especially for a retail stock. Like, this is insane. I feel like no one talks about it. Like, it's wild that this is happening in A&F, and it's a decent short float, but I don't know what the story is. SOUM's getting to $6, so as usual, I'm out a bit early on that parabolic move. $6 running into some resistance on SOUN. There was a brick wall up there. There was a big level that is worth watching. And I do think I might reload some Mara. I almost said RIVN, but I'm not in RIVN. Mara got to the 50s. It's starting to pull back in. I'm going to get off the bid, allow it to pull back, and then see where it bounces, like here. Like, see the bounce, then get in after. So I want to get a reload here on Mara. SOUN, I don't think I'm not chasing this one to the upside.
All right, so just an FYI to all y'all. We just got some more. We just got a piece out there on Meta, so that one was a move to the downside. And another brought to you by Tradertv.live. Have some nice chicken and put some, I don't know, like, my kids like honey garlic, but that's way too sweet, man. You know what? I like
wings, yes.
The piri piri. I'm down with that, man, for the my Portuguese fans out there, man. That's what I'm all about right there. Okay.
I'm down with the Portuguese.
Yeah, man, I'm down with that. We have this great Portuguese chicken place by my house. Okay, so here it comes, man. Coming right back in. Nice move. We are almost, hey, man, we were just spinning the chicken dinner winner. Well, now you can go into your club after you're done. Don't have too much chicken and go dancing. It's not, you know what I mean? It might not be too good with the digestive system and all that kind of stuff, but if you are looking at $1, you may want to take it right here. There goes Meta coming right into the 200 period moving average. Remember when the futures were up here and I was like throwing shade? It was just like, nah, I don't know where we want to go here, just dancing around. Well, here coming right back into VWAP, so could be a decent spot there to take out some of your chicken dinner winners right around now. ARM is starting to make a move again into the lows. Maybe we just put it right there again. Like, how crazy is that it comes down to 146.20, 146.30 again, right on the dime, like right on 146.31. So there has to be a real order down there somewhere at 30 or something like that it keeps running away from. But let's see if it breaks. Let's try to be a little greedy and put one at 145.50. If we break down below, let's see if we'll dare ARM to break through VWAP. And if it does, good on you for that one. Affirm looking to go lower as well. And Adara over at the desk.
Yeah, this one popping up on volume here, Lemonade, LMND, up almost 13%. Not seeing any news on this, but it does have a short float of 22.8%, and it's set to report after market close tomorrow, so there could be some pre-earnings excitement for LMND, guys.
You know, what's weird about that is someone in the chat today in the midday was making a comment that literally every insurance company they could find was red today. Huh. And then I looked over, my wife's in insurance, so I looked up at her company and I looked at a couple of other ones. I was like, yeah, that's true. So the fact that Lemonade would be up 12% seems a little bit weird in that context because they are in insurance and it's a difficult business to crack into. But it's the short float that matters here. Remember SOUN, you need to break out tops if you're going to continue with squeeze. I don't know what this wick is about, but the 20 level is definitely broken out on the daily. So I'm going to respect that because I'm not sure what the deal is with that wick. If you're going to continue to press, you need to hold the 20 level on a dip as well. Alphabet might have shook me out, but I really don't mind getting back into this one. It's been a short pretty much all day long. So, you know, if it rolls back over, I wanted to see weakness down around the 138.50, so it's right back in the pocket. I do think Mara didn't get a reload in Mara, but watch out for NVIDIA. It's getting hard to ignore NVIDIA and VWAP here. 797, it's a bit of a random number. But there's your support, there's your resistance. Now it's exactly VWAP. It just wicked it and pulled back in here. So I have Intel and I'm looking, and I don't mind holding that one into the quarter, but I want to get NVIDIA at this 97. It's looking pretty good. Speedboat saying insurance stocks only go up. I don't know that. Stocks in the long run tend to go up. I don't know about that statement, insurance stocks only go up. But Lemonade, that's a squeeze play. Respect the short flows. I want to see if it can hold on to the 20 level on the way back because that was the key level on the daily.
All right, so we're I'm going to start to play around with a little bit of a short here on AMD, not LMND, and we're going to see if this can go up to that high, which is just right here, right now. You know, it's a 50 period on the 20-minute chart. Amazon. AMD is right here, right now. I feel like this is worth the shot in case the market does want to break. You know, we know how it can come with its rear its ugly teeth at these chip names, and unfortunately AMD has continued to not be able to take out highs. So I mean, we're nowhere near, well, I guess I shouldn't say we're nowhere near, I believe it's 184, but right there. So all right, we're there until we break 177.50. So we're here on AMD until we break 177.50. And by the way, ARM is going to the downside. What's up, Dara?
Not a huge reaction in the stock right now, but it's worth noting some other comments on Google and also Microsoft. I have the Microsoft chart up here right now. Google Vice President of Google Cloud saying that Microsoft is basically becoming a bit of a monopoly in cloud computing and urging antitrust regulators to act on this. Microsoft rejecting this. This is all as reported by Reuters. I'll let you guys know if there's any other updates to this. Not a huge stock reaction, like I said, but just worth noting a bit of a feud here between Google and Microsoft with regards to a monopoly over the cloud space, guys.
Yeah, monopoly.
There's gonna be a lot of fights about that space.
Yeah, I mean, it's three names.
There can be more winners.
It's three, not two.
There could be many more.
Let's be real, okay? Don't disrespect Amazon.
Amazon.
All three of them are. It is what it is. If you're gonna start splitting hairs about those monopolies. Come on, you could talk about that in just about every single phase. Antitrust law doesn't always make sense to me. But what does make sense is take profit where you can. I just saw another fresh top and a pullback in BTC, and then a double top at 29.5. So if you can't have buyers above 29.5, then I'm taking the profit on Mara. But now, so I just jumped out of it. It was the quarters into the 50s. That NVIDIA, it's like slowly trying to grind higher into 797. I'm trying to be patient with this one. Do like that short up there. And shout out to IK on Unity. Like Unity is actually into the earnings pretty strong, and it has a breakout in its own right potentially. The problem is I don't like taking a breakout into the earnings. Like it's just a little bit tricky. I'd rather be playing into the high on a dip. Like I'd rather be buying off a VWAP into the high as opposed to be, sort of playing a breakout trade. So I'll stay away from that. I might reload one of the Bitcoin names, likely to be Mara, but for now I want to find either my Google short back off of 138 and 3/4. NVIDIA, if it can get back into VWAP, and I'm sitting in Intel right now. We'll see what happens, but I do like the fade because we just can't seem to get back. Forget about breaking the highs. The NASDAQ just put in a lower high. So anything that's relatively weak, if the market's putting in a lower high, if it's relatively weak, I want to short it.
Okay, all aboard. Your bear ride has started, and if you were not aboard a while ago, then hopefully you do not miss it right now. Don't get on that bear. You want to get on the cocaine bear, by the way, because that's a like.
Still haven't watched that.
No, yeah, it's not the greatest movie, of course, but all right.
You said it was lots.
No, it's fun. It's fun.
You said it was lots of fun.
It's not the greatest movie. I mean, it's a cocaine bear. I mean, I went to the theaters to see it. I mean, that's how I'm rolling. That was date night too, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So right there, that was fun. Marissa was like, "What the hell are we doing?" And I was like, "Watching Cocaine Bear, man." I'm going to watch that again. I wish that was good for my kids. I don't believe that is. All right, so right there, just a quick update. ARM now trying to fall back in. Boom. That's right. Although I thought we've discussed this, that we are not actually boomers. We got to figure out that generation thing there.
No, we're generation.
We're generation
X.
cool.
Whatever. No, we're not boomers.
My kids are like, what the hell? All right, so here we go. We have a bid on ARM, by the way, and we're going to try to take some little bit more profit on this one. I'll tell you we're at 146, basically flat. Maybe we should just get out now, because we don't want to miss this. But here it goes. Nice move to the downside. This is another name that we put on for you here this afternoon. We put on Meta, which is now 70 cents in the money. And we put on this ARM trade with you guys. This was 2 o'clock, right there, 2:04. And it's been there since about 2:10. It's 250 right now. So there goes ARM. Down about $2 from where we were short right now. So good trade back into the downside for ARM. We did get some more out of Affirm, and this one's, again, light position here. We have less shares on this than we do in ARM. So think about that, $37 name versus $150, $40 name, whatever Affirm is. ARM, sorry, is. All right, so right there, 37.40. We're still getting out at the top. No more. I wouldn't be surprised if I average in a little bit more. So we are up here at 45 against 50. Let's wait to see. Did we get that, Phil? Down there? No, we did not. AMD starting to go back up to the upside. So ARM, okay, bounces again. Look at that, man. We were at 146 lows, went to 146.20. Let's go put another bid there. But our AMD is getting spicy as it's starting to go through the top. We're out of this at 177.50. It looks like the market trying to go back up to the top side here. So we'll lose a little bit on AMD if this continues.
What's interesting is NVIDIA is still falling.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm staring at NVIDIA, and it's nowhere near that VWAP that I want. I now am bidding the higher low on Mara here. So there's your higher low. We did it the first time. Bounce, long, bounce, trying to get the long. We were able to pick it up on the way back up last time. So I don't want to be chasing that one. NVIDIA, you suck, NVIDIA. Really?
NVIDIA sucks.
I'm going to cancel the offer up at VWAP there. It looked for a second, when it was bouncing up here, I thought it was going to break 95, and then we get picked up on the way to VWAP. Now I got to think about the 95, back into 95 for the short. Might just be the way to go on this one. I mean, Intel will be fine if we fall, but I need something else here. Oh yeah, I know what, Square. So Bitcoin might be having a good day, but Block is not. Sometimes this follows BTC, but it failed an 80 break. It failed 78 this morning. I tweeted out already, put the fail on myself for not following my plan. I had failed 80 break, 78 key support. It broke the key support. It's been a short ever since. This cannot seem to get off the 75 level. And it's been barcoding at this 75. If the market rolls over, or even if Bitcoin pulls back, a lot of things can take us to the downside. I have 75.5 marked off to try to fade it. But it might just be a breakdown back underneath this little consolidation as well. For now, I don't want to give up on NVIDIA. Just one little push. I want to short the pop here. NVIDIA feels like it wants to go red.
Good.
I mean, when the market just bounced, NVIDIA fell $3.
Yeah, so we shorted AMD, and now it's starting to bank city, man. What's up, Tim Duncan, man? The bank is open right now for AMD as we start to come back into the downside. Here's 30 cents in the money right now on AMD. We panicked, man, and covered some. Honestly, this screen just keeps on flickering and it's starting to really bug me at some point here.
It's only one of
all right, there it is. So now we're really starting to go. Let's go spin it right now. We are starting to bank out right now. Look at that Meta. Hey guys, let's take $1 on Meta, man. The chef is cooking. There it is. Nicely done to the downside on Meta. There's the trade right here. This is another trade that we took. I forgot to mention Meta. We just took Meta 20 minutes ago. There's $1 for you right there. So that's another Dollar Club member. So far this afternoon, $3 Club members, man. We've got ARM right here. We've got Meta. And then we're going to wait to see if we can get this on AMD, which right now is a $0.50, making a move back in right there. So far, so good on the afternoon bangers. And let's see. Oracle finally starting to make a move down. We're bidding 55. Let's see if we can get that going. Come on, ARM, man. You are the one. You are the one for me, ARM. See if we can get back into the downside right now. 146.30s we're now bidding. Let's see. One little break lower, and we should be able to get this as the floodgates open up on ARM holdings, hopefully to the downside. We'll see about that one. Go. Just break that, and then we'll get in a little bit more. But it's AMD that got me going there for a minute. Nice downside push. And we just covered some at 176.88 there. Good covers, 90s, sorry, on AMD. So we just need ARM to break, and then we're really laughing over here.
So here comes a bounce. I didn't get NVIDIA at VWAP, but here comes the first available bounce. It just bounced off 791, so going to be patient, allow it to work back up. I'd like to be short off of 95 if I can, a lower high I want to work off of. If it's not making lower highs, then I don't know how strong it might be. But let's see what happens here with NVIDIA. It's at 93s. I want it to just go a little bit higher, get into the 94 and the 94.5, and then we're going to jump into that short as we go to the desk. We've got Adara.
Massive move down on volume for BioSigma, BSGM. This one is a penny stock. It does have a float of 7.73 million shares. It did also reverse split right at the beginning of February. So that was a 10-to-1 reverse stock split. Not seeing any news on this, but just some context on that massive move down on lots of volume for BSGM, guys.
Am I out of Mara? Yeah, I got out of Mara. You can see on the position board there that it's no longer in. Oh no, this chart's missing some data. So I got twice out at 29.5. We come to the chart. I am on the bid to get a higher low to go back into the long on Mara. That's my intention, is to just jump back into the trade. But my attention is now on NVIDIA, looking to short the pop that it is trying to make. So this was about to break into 794. Here it goes. It just got back above 793. Every single time it pops up, it looks like it wants to fade back in. But I think this is going to be the weak one. I want to get back into the 794. But you're right. I do still think like lastly I said I would go long again in Mara, but it just has not given me the reload off that quarter.
All right. There it is. So we finally get a little bit there of face slap. A little bit there on ARM. So there it goes again. We just get that 146.50. What did I say? 35s. 146.35 there for about $1.80. We'll see what happens now. I still want to stay short. We're short Meta right now as well. We got that fill down there at the bottom. I mean, this is what we talk about, real trading. Go visit our main sponsor in the program that we use here, realtrading.com, and you'll be able to see all this and trade on the same platform as us as well. But here we go, man. Nice move back down in. There's Meta. Good shorts. Like, this is what we're here for, man. We already talked about this. I like the short into this level. We talked about why we like the AMD short and just cranked that down there as well. So that's starting to work out for us. We talked about not really wanting more Affirm. We talked about Oracle. Look what's happening with Oracle right now. Hopefully we can have a little bit of diamond hands at least, as I see Miss Danielle Shay is now getting ready in the green room. So she's going to be coming on very, very soon here as we are. I don't know if she's going to like this because I think she thinks about some breakouts happening here. But we are short Affirm right now. We are short AMD right now. We are short ARM right now. We are short Meta right now. We are short Oracle right now. And
I just got into NVIDIA, so...
And we're long Alibaba.
Well, Baba doesn't care. The Chinese ADRs are doing their own thing today. Li Auto leading the way.
Meta $1.
Great call out by Sharif there to go long on Li Auto. They're leading the way. But just got into NVIDIA, so now we are short pretty much everything. 18,000. We'll see. If we break 18,000, this should get down to 91s. Playing it in 92, and we'll see if we can get all the way down into 91. So I just shorted 93s on the first available pop, just took some out, scalped it in 92, then looking for 91. I want the range bottom here on NVIDIA. As it feels like the market's a little bit heavy, that could be just me, but I did miss out on what I think is still a long, and that's going to be Mara. Mara dipped into 35s. I'm bidding 30, what am I bidding, 31s? Yeah, let me just cancel that. I was bidding 31s, it just bounced off at 35, so I missed the reload on Mara. I'm gonna have to look for a high of the day break here on Mara, taking out that 29.50 level. BTC wants the top. So we talked about this, just watch out. BTC seems to want to take out this high. I was trying to dip by Mara going into it, but I missed it by a couple of cents there. I still think crypto is a bit of a long here if it can take out these highs. I want to be playing long into the top. But NVIDIA, the new short position for me. I just said, what the heck am we doing waiting around for something else? Short the next available pop on NVIDIA. If we get to 790, that's an obvious level to cover.
All right. We're really getting elevated here to the downside one more time, guys. AMD's looking to break. That's 30 cents, man. ARM right now is $1.90 in the money and looking to break lower. We're starting to go a little bit crazy. Meta starting to break lower as well. And you know what the fun thing about all of this is? We're not even below VWAP yet on the market. We're not even red yet. And these shorts are starting to come home. So far, so good here as we start to, here we go. Here we go again, man. This is going to be a good one. Let's see how far we can get. Ooh, man, what a different type of trading, right? You guys are trading options. We're going to have Danielle Shay on. But when you're trading here equities and did you just see that screen shake?
How is it possible that I'm never looking at it when
I have to rewatch. I'm starting to. It's only for us.
Oh, only me.
It's not going live like that. So Ramin telling us, okay, boomer, just relax over there with your eyesight.
Generation X.
Coming through, which by the way, like, yeah, I have no problem seeing this close. It's further, it's nearsightedness. So the distance is the problem.
You wore the glasses the other day.
Yeah, no, I can see fine. It's just like when I drive, especially if it's at night, then it's a little more shady. Aftermath. All right, there it is, AMD. Let's go, man. That's another one. As the bears are out, Ms. Shay, we are out in full force right now. As you know, the fangs are out. We've got Meta to the downside of buck. ARM starting to go too. AMD starting to go. But you know what, man? Our friendly Chinese ADR, that is Alibaba down. Is she coming over here? All right, where's my Trader Talk button, man? We could go market recap style. Brendan is busy right now, so Neil and I both get the.
Let's go.
Get ready, hit it.
What?
Oh no, you don't have street. There it is.
Oh, there we go.
Oh no, is it going to go to that camera over there though? No, it is. Hey, Miss Danielle Shay, welcome. Long time no see.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's not going too bad. It's not going too bad. I don't know if you heard, but we're short the whole freaking market right here. As it seems, this may be a little bit of a different interview. As right now, ARM is $2.50 in the money, Miss Danielle Shay. We've talked about shorting some of these chip names. Is there anything that you can find for us here about an NVIDIA possibly dancing around 800? Are you looking call side, put side? What can you tell us about NVIDIA?
Well, you know, it's funny, Sean, because I was listening to you guys for, I don't know, a good 20 minutes before I came on, and I was like, dang, these are all the ones that you're shorting, and I'm looking at for a pullback for a swing long. So, I mean, I think you're definitely on the right track with the shorts here, but I mean, for me, I've got NVIDIA on the mind, obviously, because this is going to be, you know, the most important determinator if we can keep going higher, right?
Terminator.
Yeah, so now that we have NVIDIA through 800, I mean, here's the thing. I love NVIDIA. Everybody loves it. But if it breaks Friday's low, that low is going to be, let's see, right at 775, let's say. I mean, it's going to come back into 750. So if that happens, you know, definitely want to look for AMD, Microsoft, Meta, all of those for a pullback. But here's the thing, for me as a swing trader, like I want the pullback. Last week was crazy. It was a huge move. And I want to identify the pullback zones on all of these tickers for the next level higher.
So I had someone at hockey this weekend was asking me about, hey, what are we buying this week? Are we buying, he literally, the names he told me, were we buying Microsoft, Tesla, Apple, what are we buying? And I actually said, Danielle, let's let this market cool down a little bit. I feel like we're at a very heated spot as I look up at the NASDAQ, trying to break back down below 18,000 again. But does it feel a little overbought to you, this market? I'd mentioned the same advice. I said, let's let NVIDIA settle back in, maybe to in and around 700 or something, buy the better names on dips. But I feel like this market feels a bit heated right now, when we could go for a little bit of a pullback.
Yeah, it's definitely heated. And if you look at the NASDAQ and just pull up the daily chart, this is the NASDAQ futures. I mean, here's the thing, is it's heated, but I still have these swing setups that could still send it to the upside. So I like to trade consolidation. I like to trade the squeeze. And this is the squeeze right here. We've got a series of red dots. We've got price consolidating right around 18,000. Generally, those squeezes fire in the direction of the trend. Sometimes they're going to be a pullback squeeze, but they generally fire higher. And so in the NASDAQ futures, that's going to be 18,400. You have that same bullish setup on Microsoft right now. You do have also a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders. So, battling setups here. But we've got that squeeze, we've got that consolidation, and we have that same thing on AMD and on Meta. So, I want to get in and I want to trade it to the next leg higher, but definitely if I can get some pullbacks to the 21 EMA on the daily chart, Microsoft, that'd be about 405. That would be a little bit better price point for me to get in. But I like your, short-term short right now, and I'm hoping that when that works, then I can turn around and make it a longer-term long.
These are very, very short-term positions. In fact, we will be getting flat in and around 4 o'clock, and maybe before we are done. Oh, look at this. We've got the try box here.
Well, I'm just happy. I haven't had a chance to talk to you in a while, Danielle. And first of all, thanks for always coming in and dropping some serious science, especially during earnings season. But I get a feeling, like any good trader, you always have a plan of action, right? So it's like, okay, these are the stocks that I like. This is a specific setup. This is what I want to look to put on. But the question I have for you is this. Do you ever, toward the end of earnings season, get like a general sort of sense or feeling for the mood of the market during a certain during the season, maybe in a set of stocks, where you might start to change your approach just based on how things have gone going into those last earnings, like the reaction of, say, NVIDIA at this 800 and pulling back, and then AMD sort of failing off of those highs. Does this change like your modus operandi as you get toward the end of earnings season and there's only a few plays left? Would you ever change your strategy on them based on what you've seen in the weeks before?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what I come into earnings season every quarter and do, is I call it the flavor of the season, where I'm really looking for, how are investors reacting to earnings this quarter? And I would say that this quarter has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, normally we get a pretty decent pullback in February and the beginning of March after we see positive earnings in January and the beginning of February. But this quarter, we're not getting that at all because earnings were so good. So, I mean, yes, we are running into a bit of resistance right now, but I would say that I'm incredibly positive about the market, especially because of the way that NVIDIA was able to continue carrying it higher. There's all of these different things that will come up in the market, like during the pandemic, we traded those pandemic stocks, and that just rolls over and dies afterwards. But this AI thing, I mean, it just keeps going and keeps going, which is great because, well, we have all these major semiconductor stocks that are top names in the NASDAQ, top NASDAQ names that are just incredibly strong. So I am very positive about the market this year, but of course, got to look for those pullbacks after the big moves like what we just had.
Yeah, I know. Like I was just short NVIDIA, and we've been talking about like this afternoon a couple of pullbacks. We're day trading. Let's keep that in mind. But this is one I got asked this a couple of weeks ago, and I've been meaning to pass it along. And I feel like it's a perfect time to do it. We have a lot of viewers that are interested in options. And I've been asked this actually a couple of times over the years. And obviously you can check out Simpler Trading, and we can always listen to you. But is there, for somebody that just is getting started, let's just say they know absolutely nothing, but they want to get started with options trading, is there a book? Is there something that you guys offer? Like what's your advice? What is your do this on day one before you make a trade and get this piece of knowledge, just for some of our viewers that might not have as much experience, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I've actually put together a program just for that at Simpler Trading. It's called Simpler Essentials. So it's basically a 10-step program where you can go through and watch pre-recorded videos. You can stream it. It basically takes you through the whole process of why would you trade options? How do you create your goals? What kind of setups do you look for? How do you manage your risk? So on and so forth. And then how do you figure out, what's working and what's not working? So that's pretty much the most important part. So I do have that program at Simpler Trading. It's called Simpler Essentials, and also just YouTube. Find YouTube to be a great resource. I have a YouTube channel at Trader Danielle. But I think the most important thing is it's really hard for traders to just start and get information from here, from there, from all these different places, right? If you can look at an actual curriculum, regardless of whatever curriculum it is, if it's mine or someone else's, and go through it step by step, because that's how you're going to be able to, find some success a little bit sooner than if you're just all over the place.
All right, Danielle, I got to put you to work tonight. Another big name reporting. Come over to my screen here, and I'm going to remind everybody about a firm. Danielle and I talked about this a couple times on the market recap show, where they had good earnings, they had a decent short float, they busted through. We had 20 up to 25, 26, then we broke through that 25, and then the sky was the limit on a firm. Well, today we have another one, Danielle, and it's Unity. So right now, Unity to me is looking like something up here at the 50-period moving average, possibly a nice little base forming down here near 30.31, Danielle, and then Unity today coming through with a short float of not in the 20s, but we could still go with 12% right there. That's not too bad. And then I have more for you, Ms. Shay, as of course you probably already know this because you are Danielle Shay. But right here, we do also look at Unity's, where is it? Its expected move is 16% heading into earnings there today as well. So previous move of 7% down here for Unity. So let's discuss this. What are you looking at maybe for anything on Unity if someone's looking to put on a bullish bet here that we break that high on short float interest?
Yeah, definitely. So just flipping over to my charts, I mean, one thing that I'll look at is the reaction to earnings in the past. So, last quarter it was down 11%, quarter before that up 2.8%, quarter before that up 5.3, down 7.6, up 14%, 5%, 32%. So for something like this, when it's just all over the place, and when I say all over the place, I mean, the percentages vary pretty significantly. And then also half the time it's up, half the time it's down. So I think it's fine if, you feel strongly about the company and you really want to put a bullish trade on, especially because it does have that consolidation. I would caution against it just because last time it did lose more money than expected and it was down 11%. But I will say that the positive rally after the fact does give you a little bit in your favor. So I'm kind of at a wash on this one. Generally, what I tell people when they feel strongly about something is that it just has to go into your risk to reward. So if you want to be long before the report, the easiest way to do that is just going to be to come in and sell a put credit spread. If you can do that in a way in which your risk is defined, if you sell the 33s and you buy the 30s for protection, that's a great way to trade it. The other thing that I'll do with something like this is, let's say that it does gap up tomorrow, you can wait until tomorrow. The expected move is about $5. So if it's up 7.5 or more, that's the moment in time where you can say, oh my gosh, it's about to break out above this high. It has that high short float. Like, let me come in and buy some out of the money calls, or let's sell a put credit spread tomorrow. And then that way you already know which direction it moved and you know that it's short squeezing or not.
The move, you have your cards a little bit played out in front of you. Okay, anything that we potentially didn't cover because we're still going crazy here. I still have all these shorts on and a long in Alibaba. Anything else catching your eye?
Okay, so one that is catching my eye is Salesforce. So I like looking at things that have just more of like a recent history of doing really well. So Salesforce last quarter gapped up 8.1% and it had a breakaway gap. So when I see a stock that has not just a gap up, but a breakaway gap to the point where, it never even considered coming back and filling this move, and it was last quarter, that's a pretty good sign, especially because the quarter before that, it was up 6%. Now, you'll notice that this quarter, it has a daily squeeze too. So when you have that consolidation setup going into earnings, that can be pretty bullish. When you look at the quarters before that, it is a little bit dicey. It's half up, half down. So, you had a down quarter here, up quarter here, some down quarters here. So it's not perfect, but I will say the most recent quarters have been good. So in this kind of situation, sometimes what I'll do is I'll place some lotto trades out of the money, maybe up at 325. Maybe I'll sell some put credit spreads. It's a little bit early to say because we're not right up on the earnings report, but this is definitely one that I'm going to be trading later this week, and I'll have to see what price it's at to determine what kind of options trades I'll do.
Ms. Danielle Shay, thank you so much once again for everything that you've given to our viewers. And of course, they can go find you at Trader Danielle on YouTube and then at Trader Danielle as well, right there on X. So thank you so much. And we'll check back with you, I'm sure, very, very soon as the best friend of the show, Ms. Danielle Shay. So thank you so much and have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, guys.
Ciao. All right.
Thank you, Danielle. You know what I loved about her answer to the beginner's question? Is she even said, and you can check out any starting program that gives you the basics. It doesn't have to be mine. That's where somebody is legit, because they're just saying, hey, look, this is the brass tacks right here. I've got a program out there, but before you dip in there, just make sure you get the basics. It doesn't matter where you get it from as long as you have that. That's someone that actually gives a damn. And cares to see other traders succeed. Anyone else would just be like, mine's the only one and no one else is any good, Timothy Sykes. But NVIDIA just made a huge power move back to the upside. There was a question in the chat, why did NVIDIA just go up? I don't know. You tell me. It was just, the short was screaming through. I got out at 790. I said, I'm getting out at 790, round number. It blew through that and got to 88, and then this just kind of happened. It just blew back to the upside, so I'm not sure what that's all about. I don't want to stand in front of that moving freight train. I did jump back over into Alpha. I cleaned up the wick. Oh, another wick just came in. I just cleaned these up. I just got back into Alphabet off of this curl, so put in a lower high at 138.30. It's kind of hard to see now. I'm short 20s as Alphabet is starting to come back in there. I'll get rid of that wick in a second, but I did miss the reload on Mara. So Mara actually got up to 29.8. Now, I might not jump back in on the bid here because BTC, for what it's worth, this just failed right at 549 and change. I have 549.10 as the current high, so essentially got to 55,000, let's call it, and making a pullback. So I need to see this level off somewhere before I jump back into the Mara long. But yeah, not sure exactly what happened over there in NVIDIA, but it caught a heck of a bid at 788. If this ends up being the bottom today on NVIDIA, the 788 level ends up being the bottom for the afternoon, that should be worth watching the way this is ramped. Still 45 minutes to go till we get the end of the day here and some big earnings. It's a decent earnings week, man. Snowflake is actually this week as well. We haven't talked about that. That's on Wednesday in addition to a couple of other names. But Unity is probably the one everyone cares about.
There's Zoom video. There's a couple of
I feel like Zoom is not. I mean, Kathy Wood still cares about that one. When was the last time we?
Workday is today. Workday is the biggest market cap.
Yeah, they're the biggest. We were saying they're the biggest name. I don't know if they're the biggest trade.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
We absolutely ring the register on AMD as well. I mean, AMD makes the move all the way down. I just did not reload this name up there. Let's see, as we were interviewing and talking with Danielle there, 176.70, we got out down there at the bottom as well, 176.52, and we didn't want to interrupt. That was a nice move down there, so we get out of that. Now let's see if it goes down. I mean, and Meta still cranking lower. Meta, we did not cover this one. We want to see how low we can go on Meta, just because. And then ARM, same ways. Broke through, and unfortunately, we were getting pretty stubborn there with ARM. I'm still thinking 142, which is way lower than even what this looks like, right down into here again. I was hoping for down until the bottom of the day, so 142. Actually, my bid's at 142.75, but that's not going to hit. That is the low of the day. I think I put that in when we were doing this, and I just wanted to get out right there when we came back in. But that looks like a decent out if we can get that again. 145 flat. I mean, it's 318 already right now. We're already in this trade. This is now officially, hey, it's a $1 and now a $2 club member right there for ARM. And let's just try to get this out if it comes back into 145. I mean, I guess I realized VWAP was here. I mean, I've been staring at it, but it bounced off 145 clean there. So sometimes you got to look back at these trades and figure that out. So 145, 15s, something like that. It doesn't really matter what I say. We'll see if it bounces off of that or not. We still will go short more if it gets back up to the upside. And then just checking in, Alibaba, I might just tap out of this. It's right back up to the day's high, and we just failed it. So what about just a break below 40, and let's get out of Alibaba. I mean, I know this doesn't seem too crazy. Let's go 76.34 on this. So 76.34 for a breakout, 100%. We'll push out on that one and set the stop order for that. As it's 3:20, we're getting in to the close. So we'll wait. We still have the imbalances coming out in 10 minutes. Will give us an early look on where we think the market on close will happen. And then once again, we've called it kind of fake moves upside there, just the market bouncing off VWAP every time. I would have thought after a couple of these tests, like test and hold and test and hold, that we potentially were going upside, which is why we started to get out of some more stuff. But now it looks like we can fall back in to the downside, and let's go see exactly what's up with Adara on the desk.
Take advantage of this exclusive offer for Trader TV viewers. Today, you can get a 60-day membership for just $1 to Simpler Central. Follow the latest strategies from multiple asset classes in real time.
All for the price of a cup of joe. Although, I guess, depending on where you get your coffee, you might not get it for $1. So it's a better value than that, actually. Although, I find if you got a good coffee grinder at home, talking to you, my neighbor, who every single day, every single weekend, I see him get into his car and drive to the local Tim Hortons and then come back. And every time I say, why don't you just get a coffee machine? He's like, I like my Tim Hortons. I'm Canadian too. I think it's overrated. But I think you can't do better than $1 to get your learn on as a trader. Learning is fundamental as a trader, no question about it. So you want to make sure that you're finding good resources. And shout out to Danielle for not only providing hers, but being willing to say you just want to make sure you get the basics wherever they might be. So I want to get back to NVIDIA, and then I'm going to get to what's going on in some of these crypto names pulling back because Coinbase is going ham. NVIDIA wicked that same 793 level and is already making a higher low. So it's looking a little bit strong into this 793. Higher low in there. It might make this breakout. It'll give it one more chance to jump up and maybe wick this level again for some shorts. But what is going on with coin? Like, that is absolutely, like, when I don't want to say failed 55,000. That seems a little bit dramatic. When we pulled back off 55,000, Coinbase has now dropped $6. My first thought was make sure you're not bidding on Mara. I wasn't. I canceled my bids, but Mara's almost at VWAP. Missing some data on some charts. It's a little bit frustrating. I had to close some of them when I was trying to get rid of those wicks. But Mara at 28.5. There you go. Now it's starting to fill in. Mara, if it bounces off of this VWAP, which has been holding, that would be a nice little spot. It's more of a, like, you'd be catching a falling knife here, so I'd be looking for rubber band action. Like, you've just fallen too far too fast, and then you snap it back up as short-term shorts up there have to cover a little bit of something. So that would be the look. Just has to drop maybe 20, 30 more cents, and I jump into it. But it is NVIDIA, sort of the one-and-done trade that we had in there 93 to 90. Whether or not I can even recreate that is the real question. I just need to see some weakness. Google's looking okay. Just very quickly, I want to show you. Google's looking okay. I was able to get the 38s. I'm looking to reload that one up at those quarters. Intel might break out this 43.2. If it does, I'm jumping out of Dodge on Intel. It was weak under VWAP. It's not moving a heck of a lot, which is what Intel does. But if it's not moving and it breaks any resistance in your short, you should just get out of the trade. Like, how quickly did Google work when we got in the short? How quickly did NVIDIA work when we got in the short? I think both of those speak for themselves. What else we got going? Tesla. I've looked at Tesla a couple of times today, and we actually had this on the lesson of the day. You have to sometimes stick with things because on Tesla, it's like I couldn't have done it worse on Tesla. Buy the dip, stop it out, and then it rips. Buy the break, stop it out, then it holds the dip buy that you had before. It's like at that point, Like you're frustrated, you're pissed off, you got that FOMO, but is the setup a good setup? And the breakout was a good setup at the 200 the third time. So I just took the breakout because you got to take that breakout. It's higher lows into the break. It's $200, and it worked out. I bought a dip in here, 99.5 to get another winner there out of Tesla. Sometimes that's just how it is, and it was because of Tesla actually that I wanted to do that lesson. Where a lot of times you don't want to pull that trigger after you've already had a bad read on the stock. But if it's a good setup, it's a good setup. And if you're a trader, you just got to take it. It's like suck it up, Buttercup. Whatever phrase you want to use. No matter how your day has been going or your last 2 or 3 trades going into a trade, all you can do is trade what's in front of you. The market does not care what you happen to do before. It's completely irrelevant. It's going to go where it's going to go. So you have to find a way to stay on point and just sort of trade your setups. Maybe we'll find some strength off VWAP here. I like a few names a little bit better to be trading into the close. Coin is going somewhere, Comp SRX. But it's Mara that I want to trade on a bounce here, if we can get one. So it's not quite VWAP, but it just found a wick at 28.75. If it can manage to double bottom here, I'd look for the long there. Comp SRX, do options affect the float of the stock? I mean, the float of the stock is static. Like the options market can affect the overall volatility of the stock. But like, there's not more shares necessarily available to trade. Now, I know people are going to start talking about like synthetic shorts and all that kind of good stuff, but just the float of the stock itself is, you're not necessarily creating more real shares. The float is the float. I understand that you can create extra volatility based on the options positions putting on. So here comes Mara into VWAP. I am looking for rubber band bounce, and it's about 10 cents away from that 29.60 level. So let's see if we get the bounce here on Mara.
Yeah, Bitcoin, nice move to the downside right now, 54.3. I mean, nice move. I know you're talking about Mara here. Let me just look at Coinbase real quick. By the way, everything's starting to head back down in. So ARM still moving, Meta still moving as well. Coinbase, okay, so there it is. So off, wow, 196 today. Wow, 197 high there. Oh, man.
Almost 200.
To have seen some of those volume. Was it a big volume spike up there? No, not really. Okay, so not much happening up there as it just continues to follow Bitcoin pretty.
BTC hit 55,000.
Yeah, exactly. So, wow. Okay, so that good sort of mental note then. 197 equals 55,000. You'll have to figure out what math that is. But no, nice move back in now. We'll wait to see. I mean, again, you could trade Coinbase like a stock and not just watch Bitcoin. But I feel like it's a little dangerous. That's 191, the 200 period. Normally on a pullback, I'd be all over that. But again, you're going to have to watch out for crypto and the underlying as well. And look at Ethereum today. We talked about this. I think it was, well, we talked about on the podcast for sure that crypto would be a trade moving forward. That's kind of obvious. But also Ethereum, we've been talking about this for a while, switching out into Ethereum. And you've known about it. We've talked about it last week when we talked about the potential there for more, as it was a big success story, the crypto ETFs heading into Ethereum ETFs, making a move soon, so the Ether. So we'll have to wait to see about that being published further. And, you know, again, they were at least, 13 or something Bitcoin? So, I mean, why would it be the same? And for me, I feel like the largest volume one would be IBIT. So if you're going to look at crypto and some of these levels, this is what I look at in charts. So kind of matches with where that Bitcoin move or where Coinbase was. So again, a move back down on this ETF into like $30.80 or so could be something. But again, I've really only looked at a lot of these lines with, okay, just hearing that Fed may delay rate cuts till after presidential election. This is probably just coming. Was there Fed speak today at some point?
I think we had.
I don't know. That could have also been, before I report anything like that, I'm just talking about like what's in my ear.
Tonight we're supposed to have somebody speak.
I do have the Benzinga news wire.
That's at like
here,
8 o'clock.
Right there, but it's not, I don't have a story about that yet. Just talking about what I'm hearing. It's not doing anything to the market. So. But we kind of knew about that, bless you, about the delay. Brent and I talked about it possibly. I was thinking November, honestly. But there was June talk, and then we went over some of the odds of that happening. But again, look at the market. The market's saying, That's a nice story, as we don't do anything right now. So we'll wait for it. We are obviously net short here, and we are getting out of our Alibaba if it goes right below these ticks, which is pretty crazy, into 35, 34. So right around there, that's what we're looking for. It's Alibaba for now, my only long position. And then AMD's working. That's almost $1 now as we're back into the lows. We shorted this name at 177.40. We talked about why we like that. Again, right into the high of the day again. I think before the open. Yeah, so right into there. So again, oops, decent short. We'll take it. Now it's printing. So yeah, I don't know. You got to have like a little bit of a bias. We talked about the market hovering around VWAP, so we short when it makes those moves up and possibly cover when it hits those bottoms.
Yeah, when it's a range-bound market, like you're doing one of two things.
How rocket science.
Like you're either going long on the bottom or a dip on a strong stock, or you're shorting a top on a weak stock. Like there is no in between. But I did get in, I think, early on Mara. I want to quickly show, like I actually use IBIT as well. I know I show you the Bitcoin chart just for you guys because 55,000, but IBIT, there's 31 for some support in here. I like this consolidation level on the 3-minute. And now that there's actual buying, I got out in front and bought the dip on the way down, but then now we made a bottom at the 65 level, so I'll take it the second time through. And I feel like you should always, I should always, at least for myself, why did I just get out for a 3-cent win? Well, I know why. Because instead of putting a stop order in, I punched out for a 3-cent win. Good job, Neil. Anyways, I'm not celebrating them. I'm not celebrating the 3-cent win. I wanted to actually still be long this, but I just keystroke.
A 3-cent one on Mara? Another one. Well, another victory. Another and you can do it again, and you could keep doing it again and again. 3 cents.
But all jokes aside, I basically just keyed in the wrong stop, so it stopped out like right away when it was in the money. I did that instead. It'll happen to you. Sometimes you're live. That's just a keystroke. That's a fail on my part. And now, of course, it's already at 29 bucks, so I'm not going to chase it. Anybody get that dip buy off of VWAP and Mara? Congratulations to you. Obviously, I bungled it, but I'm not going to FOMO it. I'm just going to go right back on over to the next thing that I want to short the pop on, which is going to be Alphabet. Right in here, 138.5. It's coming into a level. That's the level I like, so we'll go for that. NVIDIA's not, I mean, it's not really pressing back into this high. It's wick highing into 793. So forget about 94s, which I thought I was moving to. I guess it's still 793 that I should be playing off of. So I'm just going to get a stop in so I can short NVIDIA. Again, as we're going to Adara. By the way, it's 336. Well, maybe she's going to mention this to us. Let's go to the desk.
Yes, I just got some context on that note regarding the Fed possibly delaying rate cuts. So this is only according to one analyst at one bank, Santander. The analyst is Stephen Stanley, basically just saying that there could be reason for the Fed to start a new easing cycle after the elections in November. There's nothing to back that up, just kind of this one analyst take on that. So I just wanted to give some context with regards to that note there, guys.
All right. I think we should just short more AMD. I mean, we're 50 cents in the money right now. What? Something just faded out again for us. Oh, Alibaba came out. Okay, that makes sense. As here comes the market. I mean, we've been, look, sometimes you got to take a little bit of a shot. So we called our shot downside. And right now, 30 cents in the money on Oracle, $1.70 in the money on Meta. We called our shot. We called this shot. I mean, even before Danielle Shay was on, I was like, I know she wants to talk long, and I was like, we're short this, we're short this. There's ARM, we're short again, and we're short AMD. I was debating getting short against this 177, possibly up to 177.20. It's something, especially if we break a little bit lower. So why don't we do that? I was actually going to think about shorting the market. Let me put a little bit more on here if we can get it. I don't want to be too stubborn with this.
More?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. Okay, well there we go. We just take some more short and it cranks down. Okay. Thank you. If you can give me some 63s, I'll take it. Right there, we just put this trade on. Right there, short 79. I mean, you guys saw me take that fill live as I continue to debate it. And then as we take it live for you, it just goes immediately right now. 15 cents in the money, which isn't that much. Let's see if it goes a little bit lower. So yeah, 177 or change. Let's just get out of this. But right now, AMD still holding out actually pretty good. I thought with a breakthrough VWAP, we'd be really singing on this. And the number one name here for me today is going to be ARM. And we we still have another out coming through right here, right now at 145.50 if we can get it. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, just to look at some of the S&P 500 names that made big moves that we didn't get as much of a chance to talk about today, and there are quite a few of them making these outsized moves, including Applied Materials, AMAT, this one up over 3% after announcing that it's expanding some of its patterning solutions portfolio for this Angstrong era of chip making. That basically just refers to the size of some of the chips. So interesting look here for AMAT, up 3+%. HSBC downgrading Moderna, sending mRNA to the downside here, but raising the price target to $86. So interesting look here for Moderna. Last but not least here, Walgreens Boots Alliance trading lower, down about 3%. This actually getting removed from the Dow in favor of Walmart effective today. So interesting look for the WBA, very much to the downside here as well, guys.
Yuckity yuck yuck. Walgreens reloaded on Alphabet. It's already starting to come back into the downside. NVIDIA, if you got it, I got the Alphabet reload. NVIDIA, it wicked up to 93. I was there at 70s, and all of a sudden it can't hold on to 92. So we're going to end up, if I don't get the fill here, we're going to be one and done on NVIDIA, but back on over to Google. Intel just printed in front of 43, so just sort of staking with the shorts. The only thing I've liked long this afternoon has been crypto, and even then, it's not nearly as strong as it used to be. It just feels a little bit heavy outside of the Bitcoin names and SOUN or some kind of low float running name. Everything else has been a short this afternoon. So I think you just stick with that. I do want to get back into NVIDIA, but Google working just fine back into the downside. Going to get some out in front of this low. No, I like 137.90 on Google.
Yeah, today's a good day. We just put this short on. Well, first of all, we got out of ARM there at 145.50, so that's a good trade. Right there, right at the 200 period moving average. So that's 250 right there for that one. And then this was a good trade too. We just reloaded AMD up here. Couldn't even finish speaking about it, and the stock is down there 30-40 cents. So let's see where else we go from there. It is a 336 million sell imbalance coming at the end of the day. Wow, okay. We are now starting to go even further here. Oracle, 35 cents, trying to get back into these lows. We might as well take a bid here for Oracle. You know, again, our stop was crazy, and now this move is even better. So let's see if we can get an out. We'll sit on the bid at 42. Maybe it comes in and fills us there. Meta is really making a move for us. We talked about possibly, we talked about possibly covering this down here at 482.50. But we just bounced off of 42.60. I don't have any bids, but just looking at a longer time frame, these are good bottoms here, 481.50. Do we think we get to the bottom of the day here on the NASDAQ? I mean, we're starting to break, but remember, it's the same move is happening again. You know, a break back above, that view up's at 12. We got as high as 35. That's 20 handles. We just got as low as 93. That's 20 handles. So 20 handles up, 20 handles down. You know, same kind of flow there. So we'll take advantage of that on ARM. I don't want to dump everything just in case we really get going, but for right now, I feel like this is the best trade, and we'll just try to hold on to some of these shorts. Short AMD, ARM, Meta, and Oracle. Meta is the one that I really think gets going here. It's not even down that much. The market could really break, and if it does, then all of these will really pump.
On the day.
So Meta's only down 0.23. The market
doesn't tell the story though.
ARM is up. ARM is the #1 P&L name here, and we've only been short this name. And that's to show you it's up 10% today, only shorts, and they're bangers all day. So, you got to be careful when you're shorting, but at the same time, if you have your targets and your outs, remember this 148.50? The out is if it breaks 149. That didn't happen. We took it 3 times right there. So now let's take the $3 winner as against a 150 potential loser. So that's good, man. And the Pan W, yeah, what's up, Comp SRX1?
Love you, Pan Dubs.
That's been just an absolute monster of a move back. It was up to 312.
Yeah, it's pulled back a little bit, but it's still holding up.
313.
Still up 9% on the day.
Ooh-wee.
And you know what? The 50 period, I mistakenly said something. I said I'd get excited when this is back at 330. Correction, I kind of meant when it gets back to the 50 period, which is at 320. So slight correction from what I said this morning. I felt like bouncing off the 200 period moving average, the 260 level. The next stop could be filling in some of this gap back into $320. But I don't plan on getting out of it. To me, that was a long-term buy. Like, it's not a shot play. For myself, and just speaking for myself. So Google got in and out one more time. We'll see if it can break into the low of the day. I understand it's a sell imbalance of 330 million, but that doesn't mean anything. Just trade the weak stocks and let them fall in. I don't think the imbalances matter too much. In terms of the early look individual names, unless you care about NU, Enbridge feels like it's there every single day. Nothing really standing out from this afternoon for the early looks. These all look like names that'll probably pair off. I mean, Shopify, 600,000 isn't a bad number. So I think we're not as concerned with the imbalances. So trade inside the range, whatever you happen to have found. Here comes NVIDIA back up again. All right, off of 790 for what it did here, like a couple of times. Like this was only about $1 of a pullback. If it can fail a 794 break, I'd look to jump in and out. But this looks a little bit strong. So it's got to show me a failed break at this point. Like the stair step down is over. NVIDIA might actually be getting a little strong here. So watch out for your chip names.
Yeah, we're short AMD, but that's why we covered when it went down there, right? And so you got to be careful. I'm still gonna try to get a little more short if we can, up where we are. Let's just take a little bit more at that same price, 79, and then we'll see if we get something in the mid 80s. But we're out if it breaks 177 for sure on that one. Thank you for all the nice talks there in the chat. Shout out to my guy Bears vs Bulls, man. Thank you so much for acknowledging that ARM trade. I mean, I thought that was a pretty good one, but I actually like this one. This Oracle trade was a juicy one too, man. This was a big position because we had some outs. We're right in here. There's the fade out on Oracle.
That's what's happening.
And there we goes back into the downside right now for Oracle. Good trade there, 40 cents in the money. Meta continuing to go lower. I don't even have any bids on Meta right now. Okay, I'll cancel my 486 fill. I don't think that's going to come through. There goes Meta right now. This is just a paltry $3 in the money, so we'll wait. Poultry? Chicken?
Poultry.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, what the hell am I talking about? All right, and then there we go. AMD trying to make a move back up. We did reshore. No, we did not get filled on the reshore. My bad. On that one. Out of that. Meta. ARM is now, wow, ARM is now diamond handing for sure. ARM has now been the top stock for me for a while right now. So watch out for ARM coming right back into the downside with no bids, man. I guess we may get that 142 after all. Bye-bye ARM. I mean, what a great day to short ARM today. As you can see, it's really paid off. So not bad there. $2.50 in the money Meta, $3 in the money for ARM, 20 cents in the money for AMD, 50 cents in the money for Oracle, and we've dropped Alibaba a while ago, although that doesn't look so good now. What the? Alibaba is so strong. All right. Put that in our pipe and smoke that for tomorrow, Alibaba long. But that's what it is, man. Hopefully everyone's good. Someone is eating. What's up, Angry Bear? You like eating spicy flavored peanuts. Well, that's good because you've got a spicy little market right now ahead of you. I believe into tonight with Unity. We'll see how spicy that gets. But for right now, I'd say very too. I think there's a good possibility for some spicy meatballs there. 176.41. Stay late with me because we will go over the recap show tonight, 4 to 4:30 every single night besides podcast night. And that is Friday. So we're here tonight with earnings, and I'm going to have the biggest and the baddest, Mr. Michael Nos. I'm going to ask him all about Bitcoin, why he told me it was going to be range bound, and now it's breaking out. We're going to talk about MSTR. I know he likes that one. And we're going to talk about a breakout in some sector.
What?
That's right, Neil.
What?
This is a cliffhanger, baby.
It's a cliffhanger.
You want to know what sector's breaking out?
Not like a Sylvester Stallone cliffhanger, but like a good cliffhanger. Actually, that wasn't a bad movie. What am I talking about? But this will be better.
Apparently, we're having some glitches. People are saying that it's buffering, audio glitches.
Apologies, because apparently people complain about the audio, and you might not have heard what I said about NVIDIA. So I didn't realize that was happening. I didn't know there were any audio issues at all. What I was simply saying is I wanted to fade off the same like 798 level, which I'll tell you, it happened again. I have a key that's kind of sticking on my keyboard. I might need to clean this thing up for a second. And so I did that thing again where I got in, went to put a stop in, and didn't key, like one of the numbers I keyed in didn't hit. So I ended up hitting the wrong price and got out flat. So I just shorted the lower high off 93 and got out 92. But the intention was to short off of the 94. I missed the 94 short by getting in and out of it for like a 5-cent win. Same thing I did on Mara, but the keystroke error. So I then shorted the 93 level and then got some out at 92. The idea, just to play off of the range it has here, but it's now 343, so I don't think I want to reload anything else again. Like these, it's like ride with it. Ride with the NVIDIA short now, ride with the Alphabet short, see if you can get into the low of the day. As said, this is my chart that's working on Intel, so as long as it's underneath 4320, it's not doing anything. I'm short 10s, and it can't break 20s, and it hasn't moved all afternoon, which is a bit ridiculous, but the chip names are starting to come in. We're back underneath 18,000. I don't see a reason not to hold shorts into the imbalances with 18,000 in our rear view. But yeah, let me know if we have any other issues on the audio. Just do like you did in the chat. Just let us know. You can always ask a question for clarification. Zoom, by the way, just did this going into its earnings. Maybe Kathy will buy early. She's getting an opportunity right now. That just turned red.
Huh. Oracle, like I said, I feel like this was a stud call because like it's kind of like one of those little undercover ones that we've just been not talking about too much, but Oracle, nice pullback in, and again, it just kind of made sense. We were near the highs, we felt like a short was coming through. It was actually red on the day when we did this or close enough to it against a green market. Some of these other calls, it's like AMD today was up. Like now it's back in, but it was up when we were making calls like that. So that's a little nervous, right? And same thing with Meta. But it was, Meta's now $3 in the money. I mean, when you're talking about calls, I mean, this is $3 and holding it. You know, you guys have made a call out to, and I took this to heart, right? Try to hold things a little bit longer. Give you guys these bigger trades. And we did that, man. We've done that with NVIDIA. I've really changed my style up, and it's definitely been paying out. So there's Meta, nice downside push there. There's ARM. We're now $3 in the money on two names. You know, so $3 in the money on two names right now, both ARM and Meta trying to go, and we did cover some more AMD. I mean, I can't make this thing go any more than it's already going. So we'll wait to see what happens now with AMD back down to the downside. The one trade that we haven't talked about too much here today, we're still up on it, is going to be Amazon. Amazon was a great long at 175. We took it early. Look at this long, 175, 175.20. These outs are 176.30s. You know, so nice blast to the upside. We tried to short it in here against VWAP before it broke. So that was like a quick little 20-cent hitter. Still green on the name, but yeah, that does fade out all the way down to 174.40, 174.50 and whatnot coming in on Amazon. So that could be a good long if we look for something here into the close. But we've got some bangers short, and I feel like we'll do that. Yo, what's up, Brendan Moses? So the podcast and this show has really nothing to do with anybody responding to you for real trading. So unfortunately, there's going to be contact things on there. And if you keep spamming it, then I'm just going to boot you out. So I feel, you know, if no one's responding to you, potentially there's a reason why. If you're in the United States, that might be why. Other than that, we're not taking any more questions about not responding. That is not our thing. Just keep going back and forth with that. We have, you know, specific rules here that we're not reaching out for anybody or anything like that. You guys can contact those guys. If you want to hear from them, then great. We can let them know that potentially there's something wrong with the contact forms and everything like that, but you got to reach out through the proper channels, and this is not that. So, but definitely check out Real Trading. It's been fantastic. So.
Shout out to Bears versus Bulls, because we were actually instructed if you have an issue, and he just put the link up there.
Right.
If you have an issue, just go to the link that he said. It's that simple. Shout out to you, Bears versus Bulls. You're all over. Like, man,
it's literally what I said.
You weren't even finished. No, it's just about the fact that he's always on board.
Oh, yeah,
we have the best moderator out there. We don't say it enough. Just a couple of things before it's almost 350. I know we're going to go for the IG read, but going into 350, I have a target at the low of the day on Google. I've tightened my stop. NVIDIA, same thing. Tightening stops going into 330 and giving it to the 92, and I have a bid at the low of the day as well. Let's go to the desk and take care of some business with IG.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
All right. ATUS apparently has not been contacted by Charter for anything. So we'll wait to see if this one does fade out. ATUS, again here, not been contacted. I'm just hearing by anybody or anything here. So nice little downside move. We'll see. Oh, we can't even go short. I have to pay for shorts on this name. I'm trying to short this as we speak, but I can't. So all right, there it is. It's moving around. ATUS. News about this. I would sit here short. You can't do it unless you pay for it, but maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know if it is a short or not. So ATUS making the moves, dancing around right now. There's only 10 minutes left. We're right now $3 in the money on ARM. We're $3 in the money on Meta. We're 50 cents in the money here, and AMD's not really doing anything. I'm going to cancel the rest of my AMD stuff here and just watch ARM into the close, see how low we can get right now, cancel everything else. We have what we're rolling with, AMD, ARM, Meta, and Oracle. And with 1 minute imbalances.
Yeah, well, 1 minute to go to the imbalances. I did just get trailed out on NVIDIA. It just got to 91. I was looking for the break of 91 and trailed it back in through 92. So it looks like I'll ride with Google. Intel still has not moved out of the 10-cent range that it's been in the entire time. Alphabet, I should say, that just broke 139. So every like 10 to 15 cents it moves down, I just moved the trail a little bit more. Oops. I just realized, thank goodness, I was still on the bid of Mar. I'm not taking a Mar along off VWAP anymore. I just canceled that order. It's a little bit late in the day, and I don't want a new position going into 350. So I've got my trail now at 139.10 on Alphabet. Down 4% today, Alphabet. It's been a short pretty much all day. NVIDIA has come on late for me, but Google was the one. Oh, I'm in Goog.
Meta's now $4, by the way. Keeps on going. This market is falling down, man. We only have 10 seconds. $4 in the money right now on Google. Look at this ATUS, man. We were trying to short this thing. We just talked about it. Now it is downside. Here we go with the imbalances. We'll get those from Adair in a second. We're going to get rid of all the broker, and then we're going to figure out what this number is as we'll look to see what's short. It's Amazon short. Look at that, man. Yeah, Puke City right there for Amazon. That's going to affect this number for sure. Nothing else that's really catching my eye. There's Meta as a bid, so that sucks for me, but whatever. We're still $4 in the money there, and we'll wait to see what else is happening. But yeah, so far, bad news bears coming out for Amazon right now to the downside. Maybe Shopify could be of someone's interest there. TD Bank, we don't talk about the banks enough here. Enbridge is there as well. So yeah, not much. Oh, there's Tesla. We don't see that too often. 600,000 bid. That's strange. We don't see Tesla on there.
Not on the imbalance ever.
No, and then there's Apple. Okay, so it feels like it's mixed. It's $1.2 billion to buy on the New York side, says Adara.
That's a little surprising. I will admit that, but I'm just going to continue to move the trail on Google. I think that's worth watching because, as we were saying, you don't usually see Tesla unless it's outside of the day that it was added to the S&P 500, which was ridiculous, obviously. You do not see big imbalances on Tesla, but it's not moving. No reaction probably means no trade, so that'll be a bit of a disappointing one. The second salvo on NVIDIA, I'd say, was a disappointment. It was a much bigger opportunity. I'm not going to jump into it again off the 93. We'll just roll with what we have in Alphabet as that continues to break through the low of the day. I mean, the markets are failing through that 18,000 level. It's weird because ultimately the market's flat, but it hasn't felt like that kind of a day. And I feel that's because NVIDIA's been weak, Google's been weak, Apple, which we have not talked about this afternoon, was weak. It's still weak. It's down 0.7%, missing a little bit of data there. Yeah, it's felt a lot more red than I guess it's going to end up here on this NASDAQ. But every 10 cents we go down, I move the trail. So once there's a 10% pullback or 10-cent pullback, I am out of Alphabet. That's going to close down almost 5%. Outside of an earnings day, I feel like it's been quite some time. I should ask ChatGPT the last time that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Look at Oracle, man. The last time we took dollar winners was, oh yeah, just right now, as this coming right in, as there goes Oracle all the way to the downside right now, as yeah, we're really doing some damage here into the afternoon. AMD really just touched 176. Are you kidding me? I didn't even notice that. Wow, okay. This one, again, a good trade. Let's just put a bid out there and start to cover. There it is. Out of AMD. I mean, what else? Honestly, who next, as they say, or do they say that anymore? All right, so there's ARM, 250, Meta. Oh, the Meta, So I was just putting the Meta at 482.50, but I mean, this is going a lot lower here, right into these levels. And again, like Meta, thank you, come again. And we'll be planning on coming again tomorrow, as we're here every day, 481.50. Are you kidding me right now, Meta? Like, this is a dream. And, you know, someone pinch us right around here. Like, these trades are actually real trades. Down to the downside, 481.70. We'll see if we can get that bid down there and then put out 370 in our pocket. Here it comes. There it is. And that's that, man. That is a hot dog kind of day happening around here. And then we do have one more trade left, and this one is small as well, 230 in the money. And this has been ARM all day. Like I said, ARM, big time trading today for ARM. You know, couldn't be happier with this. You know, we should have covered down here at 144. But again, you don't know it's going to travel back. So we have it stop at 146.50 right now. So it should be all good here on the close. It's 353. Yep, that's okay, Adara. Good. The turkey screen is visible over at my desk for the recap shows.
Oh, that's what you want?
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. And you want...
Oh, Workday, little Unity, and...
Oh, Saskatchewan wants a little hot dog cannons.
There you go.
So there you go. What's up, Saskatchewan? The beautiful province there. I was in Saskatoon opening up a real trading office. That was my only time in that lovely
Is that the casino
province.
story?
That is the casino story. So that was a lot of fun. I went there with one of the founding fathers of real trading, and we had a lot of fun in a casino. They hadn't really seen characters like us in a while there. So that was
I feel like, okay, at some point,
fun.
We'll have to promise that you tell that story at some point. It's just that I know, like, right away, it's like, oh, yeah, the casino story, because I remember hearing that story when I was a trainee. I feel like we all, yeah, it was in the first week of our training, we got the casino story. But I just jumped out of Alphabet. It just wicked 173.40 at the bottom, so I said every 10 cents I'm moving the trail, so when it broke 50, I just jumped out of the trade. So a couple of times this gave you lower highs this afternoon to work off of. Good thing we didn't go back to NVIDIA. Go because it's climbing back up. So it was, I probably looked a gift horse in the mouth, and I could have taken the 250. Didn't do it. Ended up making 80 cents on the last of it after making the buck. But actually grinding higher is NVIDIA going into the close. So a good day. Any day you're green, you should be happy with it. I want to go back to this name. Shout out to you, Tom H, because I forgot all about SOUN. I stopped looking at it after I stopped trading it. And oddly enough, this is a bit of a coincidence. It's at the exact same price that we got out, however, holding higher lows. So SOUN on 200 million volume is going to close near its highs. So shout out to anybody that's, I guess, still in this one. It is a clean breakout on the daily on SOUN. And there was like the partnership, the NVIDIA Connect there. Although I suspect what's going on has a little bit more to do with the 13% short float than the deal with. I mean, some of it's going to be the NVIDIA news, but look at the breakout this thing did on the daily chart. I don't think it's automatic that it fills in the gap, but that was a significant level at $5.10. Double top on the daily, and there's nothing else till it gets to like 850. I'm not saying it gets to 850. I'm just telling you what the daily chart is showing you.
All right, find the stock that sucks. We'll have one red stock today, and it's going to be NVIDIA. That's crazy. Oh, no, actually, we have Disney. We tried Disney here at 108, and it lost right there to the downside today. So we'll be 8 or 9 and 2 today. Look at this move to the downside right there for Disney. This is one that I want to watch out for because we do have a 107 break that is imminent on Disney and not good. So there it is right there. I don't think we want to be part of this. It looks like it's like a 105.50 or so, but we've wicked down in and around 107 before and held. So we're worried about that. And I'm worried about a gap fill right there on Disney. So yeah, we'll find out about that with only 3 minutes. I'm going to go flip over there. It's been a good one. Let me just check out ATUS as we talked. We did get out Alt-T, so there's the short. We were trying to hit those keys, but we didn't want to go in and pay for shorts because it was just too late in the day. And honestly, there's too much fumbling around doing other things. So there's ARM. So we got out at 145.50. We could have got, I guess, 144.50. That was the very bottom. So we'll see if that was a hold or there or not. But we'll take that out for $3 to end the day. Intel, Meta. Oh, Meta was a good one. We got that fill. Look at that fill on Meta. Like as if. Like this might be NFT-ish right there. Look at this. We have the top. of the afternoon. This is all live, by the way. Like, we took this with you guys here. This was 2:30, so we're back on at 2. So we have the top of the afternoon on Meta and the bottom of the afternoon on Meta, giving you $4. So hopefully we'll props up to that. If you guys caught that, that was great. Meta, again, right up the board. And it doesn't even take too much trading, right? This is one trade there in the at the midday show, and then one trade again in the afternoon as we pick on Meta a little bit and put that in our pipe and smoke it. So what's up to Monty G, Bears versus Bulls, Robin, and everybody? I'm going to head over with only 2 minutes to go and pass the keys over to well-equipped hands here and Mr. Roberts. Fly us in here. Fly us in.
Oh, you know, only my dad. Like, I never call you Mr. Katina because that'll always be.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sharif does.
No, Sharif does, but it's like when you know somebody and you've known them a while, I don't say Mr. because I know your pops. So, Mr. Roberts, my dad isn't watching. Although, I will say this. I definitely got indications of when Bitcoin made its high. I'll never forget it. My dad came over. It was almost to the day, and he's like, should I be putting any money in Bitcoin? And then that was essentially the top. He just asked me last week, I'm not making it up. He asked me, should he be buying some NVIDIA? I'm like, well, he's conservative in his holdings. So he's like, should I buy any? I'm like, well, that could be the top. There was no imbalance, Scott H, on SOUN. Often those types of squeeze names, they're not going to have a big imbalance. The auctions tend to be for more liquid names. The market continues to flush. I guess we could have got, look, I could have hung on to NVIDIA there, but let's just note the weakness on NVIDIA, guys. It's going to end up holding lower highs. We did jump back into it. Could have done a little bit better that second time through, but the shorts carried the day this afternoon. Google, NVIDIA, even managed to at least get a couple of cents out of that Intel trade to the downside. But we got 30 seconds to go until the close, and you got some earnings. Ooh, this market just went red. Oh, so much for that. The market was flat like 1 minute ago, and we just turned red. It's been a good start to the week. Any day that you're green should be a happy day. And finding some of those short opportunities because the market fell off, you had to do. But in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and your Monday is not over. The market might be closed. The ES ended up actually down 0.4%. It was the NASDAQ that was barely red. But NVIDIA closes, I'd say flat, but the momentum was to the downside. You had lots of short opportunities out there. We've got Unity after the bell. We've got Workday after the bell as well on the market recap show, which we're going to head to. But I want to give a big shout out to Fabian and Ramin, as always, on them ones and twos, doing a great job like they always do. Shout out to Sharif. You guys learned about market theory and Dow theory today on the midday Learn to Trade with Adara as well, who, by the way, Adara kicking butt in the afternoons now on the news desk for everybody. We have her on the news desk. We've got her in the mornings. We've got her in the midday. So a shout out to that as well. And always a shout out to Brendan. And thank you to both Michael Nos this morning, our guest this morning, and this afternoon, Danielle Shay, dropping absolute science and doing it with humility and a lot of knowledge for all of you guys and all of your options questions. You know where you're going to be headed in just a couple of seconds when we get that okay. We've got the market recap. You know who I am. You know where you're headed. It's earnings. Unity could move 15, 16% expected. Let's get to the desk with Sean for your market recap.
All right, thank you, everybody. And this segment is brought to you by Benzinga. We have Benzinga in our ear right now. Thank you for staying late as traders stay late. And once again, this is your market recap show. And we're sitting here waiting, man. I mean, as soon as Udi comes out, as Neil just mentioned, we just went slightly red here on the triple Qs there into the close. I mean, I don't know who was calling shorts. We were short 7 names there into the afternoon. And how low did Met to go? Right, let's just see, because here we go. We were trading Meta, and welcome to everybody. We'll do a little bit of a roll call here as well. What's up, Ponzi and everybody else? There goes Meta right there into the close. So we actually got a decent price down there at 481. Let's check back in on NVIDIA, 790 close as well. We have all the news coming through my ear right now. If I do hear anything about Unity, we'll have that for you. The other name that we're looking for, as you can see on the board right now, Workday and Zoom. So we'll wait for both of those names to come out very soon, hopefully. But yeah, welcome, man. What a big day it was. You can see on the top of the board. I don't remember the last time we had Bitcoin leading the way today. I'm looking at IBIT up here, up 6.7%. The Bitcoin starting to go. I'm not going to keep this in my ear. You guys just let me know if and when. I'll look down here to see when Unity's out and so on and so forth. As it looks like there's Zoom right now. Zoom trying to go back up to the upside. And again, we'll be trying to check this all out on the Benzinga Newswire. As soon as I see different names start to fly through here, we will do our best to get that to you immediately. That's going to be Zoom right now, making a move up to 64, but I don't see anything yet on the Benzinga Newswire. So as soon as that does come through, we will get that for you. Benzinga with Zoom, but does look like right now Workday's out. EPS 157 beating 147 with inline sales right now for W Day. So let's go have a quick little look at that one. It's starting to head back down. So nice little daily chart, man. Workday, wow, really getting the nice moves to the upside. Watch out for Salesforce and things like that, possibly this week. We talked about that with Danielle Shay, but Workday falling down a little bit. 310, making the moves back in there for Workday as that is now out. So there it is right there. Looks like sales 192 in line, but here it is right here. Just popped in. You saw it live. Workday FY25 revenue guidance 7.725 coming in, I'm guessing slightly under as the move starts to happen right now for W Day. So that is now out. We'll have a quick look at that. But hey, man, ain't no stopping us now. If you didn't watch the podcast, you're bad, right? We talked about that. That Bitcoin was my call. Brendo asked me at the end, what kind of stocks are we talking about? We liked Bitcoin, man. Here goes Bitcoin ripping back up to the upside, goes BTC and still going. So taking out 53 and change, watching out for 54.5. It looks like the high right now, this is on Binance, ticked up to 54.9 right now. I do want to talk to Michael Nos a little bit here about Bitcoin. We were talking about possibly a sideways move. He analyzed for us last time MSTR, and we just found out that MicroStrategy just bought, what, 30 more Bitcoins or something like that? I'll find out the number for you, but average price was 51.8. We all thought that might have been a little bit much. Hold on a second, I got to log into Twitter to find out these prices exactly. But we do have Michael Nos coming. We are going to talk about a sector that's breaking out as well. We teased that for you. I didn't give you the ETF. Let me make sure it's even on my list over here as we go. The actual one that he wants to talk about is not, but I do have another one that is very similar on here as well. But there goes MSTR right now. Look at that. I know Michael talked about this. It's a nice breakout back up above 800 right now today. And congratulations to anybody on the Bitcoin train. We also had Ethereum, ETHE, the grayscale. I mean, boom. We actually were buying this one down here near 20 bucks. We talked about the great rotate. Is that a thing, the great rotate? I may have just made that up. But going from Bitcoin into Ethereum, both definitely working right now. You didn't have to rotate out of anything. But again, the discussion was about the ETF starting to climb through that. So we'll wait to see. Is anything else out right now? Let's go back over to Zoom to see if that's out. ZM with a nice move up to $68. Let's see if there's anything. I'm not seeing anything on that one. And then, of course, we want Unity. I got to take a sip of this. Unity up to 35. Hydration Nation in the building. Man, that tastes so nice right there. Okay, so what was down today? All right, look, XLU. This is a little sucky because utilities, again, we did hear some rumors today. It was an analyst talking about pushing out the Fed rate hike, rate decrease into November, rate hike, hopefully we don't hike anymore, into November near the end of the year, maybe making utilities a little less attractive. So we did have that report come through. And again, anything that's maybe, you know, if you think that you can get 4, 5, 6% on T-bills or something like that, might not be worth sitting in some of these utility names as they primarily will pay back in a dividend form and not have too much growth potential to them, value type of things on that one. So we'll have to watch out for XLU. Oh, you know what, Mr. Nos? I see him waiting in the green room as well. Can we talk a little bit about what your opinion here is on Barrick Gold? Because I know we've had some questions here. You and I have talked about Barrick. It was looking pretty good for a good trade up there. The thing is, and I know Michael will talk mainly just about technicals, but if you see Barrick Gold down here, we're at some nice lows. If I even go over to potentially a weekly chart here, I'll have to zoom back out for this one just to see. So right there, that bottom's $12 there on the weekly. It looks like we had a split action there that's not being covered there. But down to $12.14. The reason why this is interesting to me is that it's moving opposite here of gold. So maybe we keep our money into gold and not go into the underlying asset group, including equity names, right? So Barrick Gold, something underneath there. Maybe we'll talk to Michael if he's heard anything. But gold holding out okay, but Barrick Gold downside. So find out some value in that. I want to ask Michael about that name coming through as well again. All right, another interesting name here as we still wait for earnings. Zoom is out right now, bang. Let's go over to Zoom. I did want to look at utilities quickly and the banking in China, but it does look like Zoom is out. So right here, off of Benzinga, here's the number. Zoom video, 142 beating 115. So that's looking pretty good. Sales slightly on the beat as well. Looks like by 200 billion, or 200 million, 1.15 into 1.13 billion. So Zoom right now looking pretty healthy on the top and bottom, but we'll find out about the guide right now for Zoom. So we're probably going to hear that Kathy Wood came in and bought a little bit of Zoom. So we'll find out about that today. Damn, man. My wife says these long eyelashes are a blessing. I say they're a curse, always getting in my way from seeing everything. I can see clearly now, the eyelashes are gone. Please never let me sing again. Get a lash lift. Oh my God, how much money my family spends on these stupid things. The last thing I need is something like that. Well, I mean, you need some Botox in these cheeks or what too, Ramin? What are you trying to say? All right, here we go. Zoom also right now. Adjusted EPS, 118. Yeah, like, I don't know what a lash lift is. I'm just repeating what Ramin is saying there. Okay, so 118. Nice little Q3 as well. Q1 adjusted EPS right there. 118 to 120 versus 113. That seems good. So I don't really know what the problem is here with ZM, as there it is, man, no problem, as now we are starting to go. So it's a nice, really nice move up here for Zoom, fighting off the bottom with a nice move back up to the upside. So that's a banger right there. Looks like we reported that accurately. Zoom beats on the top and the bottom, and now a guide forward into Q1. We'll wait to see. They may not be guiding full year on ZM. So the other name we wanted to look at was Workday. We talked, that one was going the other way. Workday, holding out for it right now, down under 300, trying to hold out. Oh, and the other one was Unity. I don't think we have Unity yet. So let me say what's up with the chat. Are you guys saying that we have a chat? We have Unity right here. I just saw someone say, hey, what's up, Eric? Nice host. Thank you. Appreciate that. Nice viewers we have. And we're about Unity to the downside. Okay, what's up, Starvin? Starvin Marvin is here right now. Starvin like right here, downside for Unity. It looks like we are getting a downside push. I don't have the numbers, and unfortunately, I'm using the Benzinga platform. And last week, it was actually funny. Was it a firm? I forget. Something was coming out. And it was about Carvana, I think it was. And it was bouncing around. I wasn't seeing it on here, and it wasn't actually out yet. So I'm going to trust that. It may or may not be out. That is Unity coming through right now. Okay, I want to look at FXI. We had some banger. Earnings are not out. Yeah, so I don't know. I am reading the chat. I'm going to be there for you on Unity if and when. This is a one-man and woman pony show right now, so we'll wait for that. FXI, we talked about this one, and this is another Michael Nos one, man. We talk about FXI all the time. These Chinese names, trying to find that bottom. And look at this, man. Zoom out. Zoom, there, okay, there it goes. All right, there it is. Look at that bottom. Nice bottom at 20 bucks. We talked about that. Try to buy some of those dips. We looked at Alibaba. I really like Alibaba off 72. We recently bought some Alibaba down there at 72. We really like the revenue streams there. The sales, there's nothing wrong with Alibaba. They're also getting into more and more share buybacks. They announced a 25 billion share buyback valuation there on Alibaba. Plus, they're just reporting bigger and better numbers. I like Alibaba off of 72 bottom. FXI holding for it as well. well. Hey, if Alibaba can clear 80 bucks, man, giddy up on that one. That should be a banger right there for that. Long on Sean's eyelashes. Thank you so much for that one as well. All right, Qs, we talked about that. We had Danielle Shay on talk a little bit about options. She's still pretty bullish. She not called, but was saying that there was ideas of NASDAQ up there to 18.4. I'm down for that, for sure. But at the same time, I don't know, man. I feel like this market is still, and I know there's lots of breadth. I mean, we could talk about, I mean, look at XLF. And I know we were down today on XLF, but this name, the financials, still highs, right? I mean, look at the weekly chart. We've broken away on XLF, right? So now you're trying to come back into these weeklies. We'll see if we can bounce here or break them out. But I mean, we talk about breaking away. This is a weekly chart on the XLF. I think there's one red week in there. So, I mean, it's not just a Mag 7 or a chip heavy story. Obviously, when you're going to look at something like SMH and the NASDAQ, you see that we are well away from some of the highs here on the SMH. Doesn't mean that there's other sectors that won't play catch up. And we do have something with that coming up right now in 1 minute. I'm going to call it to Michael Nos, but I haven't asked if he's ready yet. He is ready. Okay, so we're going to get Michael Nos in just a couple seconds. I do want to make sure that we do have Unity earnings again before I go over there. So Unity's down to 28 bucks. I'm not sure if there's anything popping on that yet for that. I do want to talk about one more play, and I don't need Michael for this one because I just traded my own book here. Okay, I like Palo Alto. We always talk about macro here as well. Although when you're looking at charts, that's going to be great to give you indicators for potential areas of interest. Whether or not you buy or sell at those areas is completely up to you. So that's why I look at the macro side of things. We talked about Google being down 4% today. Well, if you like the story of YouTube basically taking over everybody's life, then Google might be a story. If you like the story about 1 in every 1.3 people having a Gmail account, you may like the Google story. If you like what's happening in the cloud, you may like that story. But either way, you're down a little bit. Look at PanW. I like the 200 period. So there it is. PanW falls right into this. Obviously, they did have a little bit of a miss on their guide, but punished, fell down in. We're a buyer down there. We buy PanW on that 200 period. You know what? I see Michael Nos is loading up PanW, so let me go ask this guy about that. It's Trader Talk, and we're starting right now. We're good over here. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Good. How's it going?
You know, it's always going pretty good around here. I don't know if you can tell. We're always in a pretty good mood here. And that's because trading is our life, Michael. And I know you and I both would choose nothing other than what we're doing. We love this. I love Palo Alto Networks. That was a good bounce off the 200 period. Is there something I'm missing here? Does it look like a good recovery? Or do we sell and take advantage of some of this pop that we just saw in PanW?
Yeah, I was bringing it up when you were talking about it in the green room there, and that is almost to the tick on the 200 day. It's very rare that you see something work that well. When I see something like that, I personally think, that's not a bunch of retail players that are defending a moving average like that. If that is some type of algo or institution that decide to put their foot on the gas the second that hits. So I think your trade here, if it was me, is pretty simple at this point. If you lose that low right there, it's probably time to move on. If you hold that, I think you've gotten a great little trade out of it. I was shocked, actually, with such a big and profitable company to see nearly 5% of the float is short. So I wonder if that had something to do with it, if there were some people making a bet that this sell-off would happen, and now they're covering and moving on with their lives.
They're just so, there's such a growth, like their PE is still, it was over like 95 when they reported. So it did have to get hit to the downside there, as it's a big growth stock, definitely not a value stock over there. All right, you were on here a couple times before. Just hold on quickly, Brendan has messaged me. I believe we do have Unity is out. So come over to the screen right now, we'll have a look at Unity. Michael, maybe you can have a quick look at it on your platform as well. Unity 28 down to 29 and change. Unity Software right now loses 60 cents a a share versus 82. So it's a better on that. Q4 revenue 609 versus 551 for Unity. That's better as well. But then maybe potentially to the downside sees Q1 strategic portfolio revenues 415 to 420 right there for Unity. So again, not on my Benzinga platform, but I just wanted to talk about that. So anything surprising you there with Unity on the charts here, Michael? Because to me, we're just kind of not even at support yet. I mean, if we want to talk about 28 here, maybe, but on a name that's over 20%, I believe it's 20% short. Well, you have it up there right now. 11% short on Unity. Let's find out anything interesting at some of these levels that our traders may want to play off of with Unity software.
Yeah, we got to get your chart updated over there so you can have the short float on them as well. But if you come to my chart right here, what I'm looking at is, so we've added this right here that shows whatever percentage gain for however long you're looking at. This chart in the lower left for me is always a monthly chart because I want a really good broad view of what's going on. And then I look at the monthly chart, and we all kind of know what happens with Unity. It IPO'd at 2020, 2021, so it followed a lot of those IPOs. And now it's just stuck in this giant base down nearly 69% from its IPO. So for me, unless, like you were talking about, you want to try to play a support bounce or something, you can go right ahead. But for me, I want to see this base break, and that is all the way up, like almost at $50 before I'm going to get super interested in this name.
Yeah, I don't like some of these. I was actually thinking about, like, as far as buying names on some of these dips, it's like these are great names to trade, and they might be excellent for the options market or for some quick little intraday swings. We saw RIVN crack through or get close enough to $10 and then a nice little bounce. It doesn't mean that we're buying RIVN down there at $10 in our long-term portfolio, but you do get some relief rallies. And actually, you nailed, bang on that. You talked about that. I forget what you said, short. There was some sort of a sentence there where it was like a trap when some of these shorts go to the downside there, and then all of a sudden you get a huge move, and then just a bounce right back up. What was that, short no go? I know you have the thing with trade ideas, but there was some kind of a saying there that I really liked that you gave us some examples this morning. What was that?
Oh, the bear trap and the bull trap. So we have failed breakouts and failed breakdowns.
Right.
And
okay.
Yeah, that was a lot of what I did today. Was actually shorting some of those failed breakouts.
Yeah, those were some crazy trades. What about MSTR today? We just talked about IBIT and some of this Bitcoin rally. I just looked at MSTR up to $800. Crazy. We actually found out more news today that they had added to their Bitcoin, well, I guess to their assets by buying more Bitcoin. And then you get a huge move up 6% today in IBIT and some of these ETFs. MSTR, though, running into what I thought was a little bit of resistance up at the top. What do you think about MSTR? I almost feel like you take a little bit of profit here, but I guess if you're bullish crypto, maybe you hold on.
So crypto's in a really weird spot where, from a sentiment point of view, and I think this MSTR, the chart is close enough to me that it's something I can use to analyze. Everyone in the world thinks that Bitcoin's going to break through its all-time highs and go to 100,000. That seems to be the consensus. And generally speaking, in my experience, the consensus is not always right. So I have no position other than the miners, Coinbase, and a little bit of Mara that I talked about a couple weeks ago when I was here. So I'm just riding those, and I'm happy with the price action that has. But what I'm watching for is what if we don't? So when the consensus is right, there's really nothing to do with that. When everyone's right and hey, we're going to break through new all-time highs, and 8 pitchers are going to be worth $1 million again. That's fine. But then what do you do when that doesn't happen? So I'm looking to see if we start to fail before we hit all-time highs, and we do so in a spectacular way. I will be eyeing the short side, but there's absolutely nothing to show me that right now, and there's really no reason for me to act to the short side yet. So I'm holding some of these crypto miners and exchanges, and just enjoying the ride for now, looking for my opportunity to get out.
Yeah, congratulations on some of those calls for Mara. I remember talking to you about that at $10, $11, and that was that whole smiley face all the way down there. And I guess anybody that took that advice is smiling all the way to the bank, Mr. Nos. Great call on Mara for sure. All right. I teased a ETF, potentially a sector. You had messaged me earlier on something that potentially is either breaking out or getting a little top heavy. Let's talk about it right now. The floor is yours, and here we go. The big reveal. Live here on the recap show, and it is going to be the biotech ETF. So, Mr. Nos, let's go talk a little bit about XBI.
Yeah, so XBI was very interesting to me because these have been a laggard for a period of time, and we're talking biotechs here. So we're talking biotechs when it comes to, not healthcare, not the kind of boring stuff that actually has been doing great. If we go to XLV, XLV has been doing phenomenal for a long period of time. And again, if you look at these monthly charts that I have up in the corner right here, you can see, the breakout took place last month or so on XLV. But if we go over here to XBI, you can see that breakout actually just occurred today. And if we look again in this monthly chart in the bottom, that is, to me, quite a base breakout. So we talked a little bit, what was it, Udemy? We were talking about Unity. We were talking about, and how I said, hey, you look at the monthly chart, it's still in this base, it's not really interesting, call me when it's $50. Well, if we look at this same and we kind of compare this same chart on XBI, we are seeing that breakout potentially occurring right now. And how I found it was just these heat maps I have up in the corner. You can see both ARK and XBI are the winners of today. My face is covering the losers, but that's Berkshire Hathaway and utilities.
Yep.
So for me, it's making me think that we potentially are seeing this breakout in biotechs, and it's time to start looking under the hood and see what biotechs start moving. Now, I know a lot of your audience are day traders, and I think this will be great for you guys because when biotechs are moving, these are the fun stocks to day trade, right? No one wants to day trade a Berkshire Hathaway stock. They're generally not that interesting, the Apples, the Googles. So when it comes to seeing this breakout in XBI, that got me excited from a swing trader's point of view. I'm going to look under the hood to see what I can find here. But also from a day trader's point of view, if this breakout is going to continue and we're going to get this increased volatility out of this massive base that went all the way back to the beginning of 2022, I think it's time to load up your scanners, load up your trade idea scanners and point that. And anytime you see a biotech come through, it's going to pique my interest a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought up XLV. If you come over to the charts right here, because we actually had on our first podcast in January, this was the call that we gave, was XLV breaking this top right here, man, 136.50. And since then, it's been off to the races. It did give you another test back into there. But as we know, our population only seems to be getting older. And I don't know if you've seen who's running for president, not that that matters. But maybe there will be some more talk about healthcare and coming through on that one. But yeah, XLU, we talked about that in Berkshire with some nice downside moves. I think these names could be a little bit more interesting, but I like the XLV. The IBB was another one that still has a lot of more upside to go if that does come through. All right, where did he go? No, I don't want to cut. No, he's not, we're not leaving yet. All right, anything else you want to talk about? I mean, let me just come over to my screen. I'll give you one more second here because we got to go over a few more things. Let's just go over Unity one more time, just because there's some traders here looking to see what these are doing here in the after hours. Unity down to $28. Again, looking to hold down near 24, 25. The numbers for Unity, not horrible. Again, and here it is on Benzinga. We talked a little bit about that. Forward revenue 1.6 to 1.8. I don't have any expected there. There's the gap EPS misses, so minus 60 cents, sorry, misses versus minus 42. So that's bad, but beating on sales. So a little bit of a mixed report for Unity. We'll find out about them later on. Down here hovering around 28. Talk to Mr. Nos at 50, so we'll pass on that. Workday here as well. Continuing to hold. Looks like a little bit of a downside move. We'll see if there's any love back for Salesforce, which I really like. You can see Salesforce, a nice little upside move there, then pulling back just a little bit. Not trying to equate the both of them, but that's something else. And then zooming off, wow, to the races. Wow, okay. So Michael, Zoom is actually starting to go a little bit here as well. But okay, nice move. We'll see Zoom tomorrow. If this takes out $74 tomorrow, I'm going to be a buyer of Zoom. Okay, I see you all locked and loaded over there. It looks like you might want to talk about the spiders or whatever. But Michael, I'm going to give you 2 minutes maximum here as we approach 4:30. So kill us with knowledge here.
Absolutely. So I have both of those charts I want you to take a look at. And again, there's kind of a theme developing here with these monthly charts potentially breaking out of lows. So you mentioned Zoom. I know Kathy with ARK is a big fan of Zoom. So this may cause this ETF to move a little bit tomorrow. And you can see that we had Kathy moving up today, and potentially this chart, the monthly chart I have in the bottom, potentially breaking out this long base that again has gone from 2022. And then we contrast that with Uncle Warren. So we have Warren versus Kathy again. And this candle for Uncle Warren to me kind of looks awful, right? You have this big gap up and then this absolute sell-off engulfing a whole bunch of days. Now, I use Kathy as my risk on indicator and I use Uncle Warren as my risk off indicator. We know what both of these people invest in. They are completely polar opposites when it comes to it. So one is looking for growth, the other's looking for value. Today, there was a big win when it came to Kathy over Uncle Warren. So I'm actually going to be looking for that to continue. If we get this move and we get continuation from here, it might be time to take some money off the table from some of the boring stuff, the big cap names that have been doing so fantastic. And again, to continue that XBI theme, look under the hood for what stuff that Kathy likes.
All right, Michael, where can they find you? We have X on there, at Michael Nos, CMT. You doing anything on YouTube these days? Is there a channel you're on?
I'm Michael Nos, CMT everywhere. And also, I know you guys started a podcast. We did one as well over at the Trade Ideas YouTube. So when the stream's done, not before that, but when the stream's done, come over to the Trade Ideas YouTube and check that out.
Perfect. We never want to cross streams, but sometimes it has to happen. Thank you, Mr. Michael Nos. One more time, Trade Ideas and CMT. Go find him everywhere at that handle. Thank you and have a great afternoon.
Talk to you Friday.
Ciao. All right. That's pretty good there. All right. Thank you for all of that. I really like that healthcare look. I can't, we talked about XLV. I'm in that name on that break, in and around that 136, 137 area. So a couple good names there. And I'm in ARK. I have to go find out where. I feel like I'm still down on that. I'll have to go find. Oh, no, I'm in the ARK robotic one. ARK K, is it F? Anyways, I'll find out more about that and talk to you guys about that tomorrow. All right, let's go over to some tweets. Look, I was screwing out with Gemini today. I thought it was pretty fun. You know what I told it to do? I told it to do a bull in Toronto that's some kind of a stock market theme here. So here's the CN Tower. I have no idea what's on this bull. Like, I don't know why it's, maybe it's something to do with Toronto here, but that looks like a little bit of an iPhone. And I don't know what's up with some of these dollar signs floating around here. But anyways, I thought this was pretty cool that we did that, just floating around. I heard Brendo talk a little bit about, or Sharif, we were talking about Gemini and ChatGPT, so on and so forth. Empty chair. All right, so there's Pan W. I want to talk about this tweet, man. We already talked about that with Michael Nos. Let's go with Pan W. Come over to the screen here a little bit. We'll go over all of this as we go. Fabian, one more time. So that's that. And then again, our live dashboard is now open. I want to continue to pump that. And then today, man, my biggest loss today was an NVIDIA break. So we'll review the sticky notes a little bit. I'll go over to next topic. Next topic. Oh, that's previous topic. Hello. Next topic. There it is. Next topic, sticky note recap. The Amazon long 175 was pretty hot. The Alibaba was really hot as well. Let me just check out Palantir really quickly to see if anything happened, because we forgot sort of look at Palantir later on in the day. I like Palantir, but I'm more of a Palantir kind of catalyst guy. If we ever hear reports of a new contract or upgrades and downgrades, then we tend to look at Palantir. But again, a pretty nice day overall for PLTR. Up 2 and a bit into a, let's go over a 10-minute chart just to see if we have any levels there. So 23 holds, man. 23 holds, that's really cool. If that can come back into tomorrow, we'll look for that. We wrote down 2280. It didn't get into that level, but 2280, a good little level there for Palantir. Look, no matter where you were today, I hope you come back tomorrow. We were killing it with the trades today. Was a little bit of a rough start there with NVIDIA. We ended up huge. Here, you know what? Let me show you ARM just real quick. I was really proud. Okay, so here's, we just talked about NVIDIA. I took the, On NVIDIA, I took the 805 break. We tried to buy 8s as well. We actually took some money early on it, and we were up, and it was all good. Then when it broke down, we actually had about 70 to 80 cents worth of slippage off that level, so that wasn't that great. ARM today, though, was fantastic. Look at all these shorts. Short here, 147. These are outs, 143. You know, short again, and short at the end of the day, 148, out 145, 146. This was a hell of a lot of fun. This was your #1 P&L name across Trader TV Live, period, today. Do not forget to like and to subscribe. But we ain't done yet because we ain't done this. All right, man, often imitated, never duplicated. Shout out to my guy, Sharif. He tries and does a fantastic job. But this is the original roll call. So let's see who's here, man. I mean, we're not even doing this with a lot of traders today. We didn't have a huge earnings, over 3,000 people watching. Thank you so much for that. We're also live on X right now. Retweet, all of that, but let's find out who's here right now. Streamlabs has been tough today. Thank you so much, Sebastian. You are the best. Thank you so much. Sam is here. Bears vs. Bulls is here. Jacob's here. Alex is here. Mike Breeze. Cell's here. Maria's here. What's up, Marie? Tom's Trades, you're welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Yannick is here. Thank you for all that. Any members going to get shouted out. Bbot 5000. Alex Davis. Prania, thank you so much. He's here as well. Monty G is here. Odyssey waves his hands. Thank you so much. I like the thumbs up from Skyhawk, who's in the building as well. Che White is here. Neil MacArthur. Tony Q is here as well. Chump Change Trader, what's up? Mr. Love Shack is in the building. Okay, I like that name. Like that name change. Shout out to everybody, including Derek Thompson. We used to have, I don't know what happened, man. Maybe I'm just getting better at this. We used to have an alarm that used to go off and like literally ring and say, that's it, you got to cut the show. But it's 4:33 and traders stay late. And I want to thank all of you for that. Go find me at Trader TV Sean. Thank you for 45,000. Thank you for 7,100 Instagram viewers. And thank you for the show, over 450,000 subscribers right now on YouTube. We continue to rock it every single day. Make sure you check me out tomorrow at 8:30 live on the big stream. I'm back. It's at Trader TV Live. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Ciao.